and daisies. It's all about being who, like, survival itself. It's about the fittest. Who's gonna be the fittest? Who's gonna
It's
come
kill
out
or
on
be
top?
killed, and
It's
Yeah, that's the
adversity creating the cream of the crop that will survive. And unfortunately, like, gruesome things have happened in history. So really, people need to stop with this whole, oh, your entire kind is guilty for this, because I mean, if you go far enough in your family tree, you're gonna find some ancestors that did some messed up shit that you don't condone. And it is what it is. People need to get over themselves, because the only thing we can do now is focus on the present. We can't change the past. It's done with and over with. Just make sure you don't become as gruesome as your ancestors, and you'll be fine. Like, that's all.
Hell, I like you. You can come over to my house and fuck my sister.
But yeah,
pretty
that's all people need to do. I mean,
whatever happened happened. Move on.
everybody is
Because
knowledgeable enough to
this is
know.
even what I even learned from my sister. Sometimes shit happens.
mm-hmm. You just gotta move.
Good
You gotta move
evening,
forward.
UN Spacey Wolf Squad. Visual Commander Wolf 10. I'm your werewolf. We're here to talk a little bit about maybe marketing, talk about this and a little of that. And personally, I'm getting so sick and tired of movies trying to portray Africa as this very peaceful, utopian, coexisting fucking country. I'm dead sick and tired of that shit. These
It's a
days,
continent, people.
Yeah,
ain't
also
And
you
it's
nothing.
got
also not
and it's also
also
got like
you,
it's also got like several groups of people. Like, there's no kumbaya, everybody is one. No, it's got
The only
different
two
groups.
movies that I've seen, as opposed to actually the few movies I've seen where they portray Africa as it is in some areas, not all, but some areas, was Tears of the Sun, Hotel Rwanda, The Good Lie, Black Hawk Down. Now, mind you, these movies are focused on certain events in Africa, but on the fucking whole, Africa may be peaceful in some areas, but that whole continent is not. You're not safe. You're just not safe. Period.
There are people still living in hunter gatherer tribes. Some people are still stuck in the Stone Age. And other people still have a Stone Age mentality, but because of colonization, they were catapulted into the modern era with technology, but they don't have the mentality. And you know, one thing, the whole thing with the West
I'm just
obsessing over spreading freedom and democracy and
I'm
all
just
that
still
stuff,
tripping off the
that
fact.
that that stuff can't contain itself, in the sense that it can't maintain itself, because a lot of the people they're trying to get to adapt their systems of government, like, they don't have that value and that mindset of freedom and the individual and things like that, because it's a hostile environment where they have no choice but to be totalitarian in in their collectiveness, like, because, you know if one thing is out of place and one individual, like, does this or that, like, it causes the whole house of cards to fall in an area where there are other hostile groups. And that's the reality of things. And it all ties back to that whole thing about survival.
The fucking
Like,
Woman King is fucking ridiculous. Like the way how they got, like they portrayed the fucking Dahomey tribe as like they have this big fuck all military force ready to fight white folk. They got like
that's not what happened. If
or like
anything, like, the
or
people that they were fighting were like, I'm not exactly sure on the history side of things on that, but from what I read from a thread that was explaining how ahistorical the Woman King was, like, apparently they were fighting, that tribe was fighting people who were trying to stop slavery, so that, and they allied themselves with with white slavers and continuing. Specifically, they allied themselves with the Portuguese, like a Portuguese merchant group.
Yeah, pretty much.
It just kills me like the narration goes on, right? It's like they're building up this whole thing like there's like this big ass European or whatever invasion force, right? So she's basically going up to her king, her chief, right? Talking about how there's a great evil about to sweep over all of Africa. But here's the catch though. The solution that she came up with is to train an army of fucking warrior women. I'm like that like the way how they built that shit up, right? I'm like you're not there's not no situation where there are no African tribes that are gonna rally to their cause to stop this white devil from sweeping over the land, right? None of that shit. Or rather, there's no situation where she says that most of his soldiers have been wiped out by other tribes or these white soldiers, right? So, I mean, what I'm getting
So,
no no no
wait,
what I'm getting
no.
at with what I'm getting at with is that what is what is the proverbial cause for her to go out of her way to do this fighting force of women? That's my thing. There's never the situation is poorly explained, or at least it's poorly written in this aspect. Like you got this whole army of Europeans, and your best solution is to go to your tribeswomen and start getting every able-bodied fertile female and put a sword in their hand. That's that is your solution. Okay. Next thing you'll tell me that she comes out, we've been training for years for this moment, for us to protect our land of Africa.
Oh god, that's
Next thing you'll tell me that shit. We've been training our lives for all this. Cause that's what it, look the way how they cut that shit in that trailer. That's what it looks like. It looks like it's a straight Lord of the Rings situation, like a straight Lord of the Rings trailer moment. You know?
Oh, the trailer to the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, something like that. Like
Here's the thing, though. What I don't understand, if anything, that would have given that tribe, if all the men had been downed by opposing, like rival tribes and things like that, that would have given that tribe more motivation to side with the invaders, because that's what usually happened. It happened in
mhm.
America, and it happened in Europe, where like people who were down on their luck because they were being called off by rival factions, they would side with the invaders in order to survive. That's the survival strategy. So, like, just sending out your women to like fight in a
I'm
war,
sorry to
it
say
just
this.
it doesn't make any sense.
I am
Yeah,
sorry
but,
to
No, it does
Aaron,
not.
I know retreating is for cowards, sir, but even cowards survive.
yeah.
This is not the end, Prime.
I was
Oh,
waiting for Wolf to finish his. I didn't want to interrupt his monologue.
oh right. Um.
What the fuck is this? Babylon, starring Margot Robbie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just saw a trailer about that. Just on the news.
For context for anybody joining us, in the back room we were talking about a quote
The
tweet
Woman
that,
King.
yeah, somebody, it was Fiona Wolf was on Twitter, and she quote tweeted someone who quote tweeted another person, and they were basically the first quote tweet, which is the one Fiona quote tweeted. It was this guy sharing a sword and sorcery series called Imaru, which is um that that set in Africa, and what the guy says to someone who was calling people who were criticizing the Woman King racist. This guy who quote tweeted the other guy, said, "You're a white guy pumping a film about a tribe responsible for a huge portion of the African slave trade, written by two white women. Maybe one-star raters aren't the racists in this scenario. Meanwhile, every non-racist sword and sorcery fan on Earth is still waiting for an immoral film," and that's what he said to a person who was basically labeling all the people who didn't like the Woman King racist. So
I find it fucking racist that two white women are writing a story about Africa, going by their ideology and their point of view, right? I find it very fucking racist that you let two white women write this damn story. Wasn't supposed to be black only? Yeah, we still got white people writing black stories. I'm
no, he
just
was
look.
saying
On,
that
no. On
he
my
was
end,
this
I don't give a fuck
yeah,
who's writing it. Just tell it right.
yeah.
Tell history right. That's the thing. Tell the history right. I don't care who's writing. It could be an Italian for all I care writing writing a damn story. Write the damn history as it was fucking written and as those who bore witness to it. Depending on whose perspective is saying. Write it accordingly. Do your research. Do your research and all that stuff, right? But the thing is that
Yeah, but the guy was essentially using that person's ideology against them because it was a guy there was a guy defending the Woman King and calling all the other people who didn't like the Woman King racist. So the guy quote tweeting that guy was just using that other guy's ideology against him, and
speaking of which,
that's what Fiona Wolf was sharing, that she quote tweeted and said, "Interesting book," because she found an interesting book. I mean, I think that's what she said. Hold up, let me check.
Well, first off, good evening, everyone, and
Damn, I
everyone
have to log
here.
in. I'm not doing all that.
Good evening, everyone, and everyone in the squadron. My thing is, well, first of all, Wolf, you say winging it, so we're just doing whatever topics come to mind.
I
yeah,
mean, it's mostly to do with we were mostly gonna be talking about marketing, but yet then again,
Okay.
we're
what
still gonna be
I'm
winging
ranting
it.
about is about marketing. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
The way
Yeah,
how they,
because
like I said, the way how they chopped up this fucking trailer, they're really trying to ape off Black Panther and fucking Lord of the Rings and Narnia to be exact. I'm
Well,
just
before we get into that, guys, check out Imaro.
mm-hmm.
IMARO. If you're,
Girl, write it down so I can highlight so I can
I'm
clip
not
that
on
shit
YouTube right now.
not right. Private chat. Type in the private chat.
All right, so
So I can
check,
highlight it, right click, and then post it in there.
yeah, check out Imaro.
Wolf is not.
It's an old
He's pronouncing it.
the I can't pronounce it, man. I don't know if it's Imaro or Amaro, but um the publication date is from 1981. So at least you know it's good stuff before
Yeah.
the the publishing industry began tanking somewhere around 2012.
Me bitching about the Woman King
It's
Green.
yeah. Well, essentially, Amaro is sword and sorcery that utilizes African mythology and folk tales like, into its writing as well as the setting.
Hang on, hang on. Let me throw a disclaimer real quick. Full disclosure. If you guys are hearing clicking on my end, I'm playing Guardians of the Galaxy the game. You might hear me
Yay!
laugh.
I'm sure you would be.
You might hear me even speak on what I'm observing since for the life of me I have not invested in any equipment to stream this while we're talking yet. Y'all continue. Don't worry, I won't be 12 where I'm saying fuck.
I was just going to say, you're talking about marketing. It fits in with the marketing of this film, The Woman King. You're not wrong, Wolf. The producers said that they are trying to play and suck in the Black Panther audience to come to this film. It's interesting, this film was released 2 months before Wakanda Forever.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, Wakanda, which has a
Oh,
similar
God.
theme of women
No, I'm getting
taking.
electrocuted. That's not good.
Oh, that's not good for you. You want me to take your time?
No.
No, I'm just
I know you're
thinking.
playing your
Game.
game. You're playing your
I'm
game.
thinking about the fact that Wakanda Forever exists, and it's
I'm
basically gonna be the terrible comic Shuri that just like tanked the Black Panther comics in current times.
I agree with you, Eloise. This is something Chadwick Boseman, even God rest his soul, but in his last days of his sickness, he was against. I know Wolf has commented on this, and I've seen other videos on this, that Chadwick, what saddened him so badly is that he felt T'Challa should have continued. The character should not die because he was dying. T'Challa should move on. It was important for this character to be around, because here you have this Black male character that is the king of his nation, and in a positive way, and now you're going to erase him. So
Damn, there's so much story
Well,
that they could
that's
have
what's going to
covered,
happen with
plus
like
that plus
Wakanda coming out of isolation and opening up to the
Wakanda
world.
should not even have been in isolation, first of all.
Yeah, that's true.
In the
Yeah.
comics, Wakanda was never in isolation.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
knows
they,
this.
yeah, they're yeah, they Wakanda would never
Hey, get your ass
isolationist.
in here.
But
We need you
I
in
mean,
here. We
even
need a
then,
Native African talking about this shit too.
they could have still explored that, like a nation coming out of isolation. Because right now, there are places in the world that are still isolated, and there are places that are going back into isolation.
Instead, you're both right. Dominic, did you want to say something? Because I know you had a comment, so if you want to go ahead, I can wait.
Well, I was going to bring up even Chadwick Boseman's brother wants Marvel Studios to cast T'Challa for Black Panther.
Yes, he does. Let me throw this question out at you. And I was talking to my nephew about this. Now, this is my nephew's opinion. My nephew says he feels T'Challa should not be recast, and in his opinion, he feels, because if you recast T'Challa, he says he feels sorry for the actor that has to take the role, because he feels the public will never accept him as Black Panther because Chadwick was so associated with the role. He said that when Chadwick died, T'Challa died with him. Does my nephew have a point?
I mean, I guess there's a time for grieving, so maybe if they could bring back the character in 10 years or so, if that's the case. But I don't really think the MCU has that kind of time left in it.
Yeah, he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wasn't against bringing the character back, but yeah, he said that right now is people are still in a grieving period. He said maybe in five, not he doesn't say till 10, maybe 5 years. Maybe in 5 years they could try and bring back the character of T'Challa, because Chadwick died so tragically. But I kind of feel, I do agree with Dominic that Chadwick and his brother wanted this character to go on. They felt this character was too important to just abandon and pass on to a female, which I do believe is going to happen in Wakanda Forever. I think it's going to be a female dominated film.
Yeah, what's gonna
And that's
happen
going
is
to happen.
they're gonna try and adapt the current comic Shuri, which is a disaster.
You're right.
Yeah, because
She's right.
if you actually
Because that's basically
realize Shuri's
what
time.
literally modern. That's
One at a time, guys.
that's literally what the MCU is literally doing right now, and we could see this that what they've already announced with all their Phase 5 stuff going forward now.
So they
Oh,
abandoned Phase 4.
I mean, Phase 4 is just like done and over with already, which is actually quite unexpected because it felt so freaking long.
they said that Wakanda Forever is the end of Phase 4.
Somebody read Green's comment here.
The Woman King, really, really? I think I would rather talk about the true story of The Exorcist. I hope I said this right, of The Exorcist versus the movie. You know, I think I would too, Green Lion girl.
The
I think
circle
yeah,
Same
of
here.
dick, and we're taking from man. It's my dick
Keep it.
now, be my bitch. It's my dick
Uh,
now, be my
Oh god.
bitch. It's my dick now, be my bitch. On the
keep in
day
mind
we
that
rose
this,
from
guys, it's
our
a free for all. So
riches.
like, if you guys in the chat want to throw out a topic that we could discuss, just like do it. Just do it.
see, I think what
Because
I
He's,
go
he's
ahead,
done,
Peter.
There's
final.
more to see. All our bitches in
Never mind.
armor with swords. We can never
I
go
mean, I know he's not really done
extinct.
yet.
Except when you do the research, we are practically pretty much extinct. But that's not important. Just watch this movie. It's really good.
Hello, William.
What's up?
Actually, you know what? I came up with a great idea. I've been saving this for any occasion when I do that.
Okay, now he's finally done.
Yes, finally.
mute
Shut
the
up.
stream. Really? Who
Mute
wrote
the
that?
stream.
I did in case if nobody wants to hear me sing.
Oh.
See, I'm learning.
Oh dear.
So whenever I get the singing,
Yeah, if that ever
not
helps. How are you
not you
supposed to
got
know?
when the damn thing pops up.
I didn't mean us. I meant the others in the chat. How are they supposed to know?
When they see the screen. You look at the screen, the YouTube screen, when you see the damn sign, that's when you turn your volume low. Or you turn your volume off. It's not rocket science.
Well, guys, we got
Anyway,
an
wait,
aspirational empress in the chat.
oh, we do?
We have a what?
Yeah, child of wants to be an
Oh,
empress.
child of fire.
Say that again.
Child of flower wants to be an empress.
Whatever gave you that idea?
She says, "Evening, subjects of my future dictatorial empire."
All right, child of flower. She's
You
seeing
know,
So is
you know,
child of
if you're
flower
gonna,
just gonna? Is she just gonna appear like on the monitors in Times Square, and then it's her in a Darth Vader mask, just like chokeholding the entire public?
well, I mean, if she's gonna be a dictator, then we might as well lead a rebellion.
Dun, 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 dun.
At least somebody appreciates my comedy.
Humble says, "I enjoy the madness."
Hey, we didn't.
You said phones.
Hey, we didn't say we didn't. We did not say we don't enjoy comedy, man.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes,
know.
we do. We love your comedy.
I know y'all love me. Y'all try not to get fired.
Dude,
Over here trying to kiss up
that's
to me.
not.
That's
That's not
that's
true.
flattering. I'm kidding. What's up,
What
Twildy?
about? Oh, Twildy
Oh, it's damn.
The African
I forgot.
snake.
is here. Go ahead with your
I forgot the
evil
nickname.
devil
Corn
inspired.
Pops.
African snake.
Oh yeah, the nickname you give him.
No, it's because he has the Clarence Thomas icon,
Oh yeah, he still
and
has that.
the
Yeah.
from the meme, from
Mhm.
the nickname meme, which is Corn Pops.
Yeah.
Hi kids, it's me.
Oh hey, holy shit, we got the Dungeon Delver here tonight. What's up, man?
I'm good. How you doing? Haha, it's me. Are you sure you aren't an agent of the mouse? Because you sound awfully like him.
Okay, man. You know what?
Are you talking about Mickey? No, Mickey's not
Hang on, hang on, y'all. Delver. Now I really gotta go attend to one of your D&D sessions on your streams, man. since you graced us with your presence, I feel obligated to do so.
I try and tune in, but like, oh man, it never gets there. It takes a while to get started. I don't know. Or is it because I'm tuning in on the wrong days? Because Dungeon
Probably.
Dweller he streams a lot.
Does he now?
Yeah, I can't figure out which days are which. Because like at least from my perspective, when I'm sharing links, like I get notifications a lot, so like I see the stream notifications, and I don't know which days are which. But like you guys should definitely go check out Dungeon Dweller, especially if you're into D&D and RPG.
That's the thing. It's me. It's me. And it's mostly me and tabletops. It's like I'm not too familiar with them. I kind of am familiar with them, but it's like to me to get me interested in tabletops. It's like whatever interest I had. It's probably Am I explaining this correctly? Am I doing a good job explaining this?
No.
Should I pull Eloise say how do I explain this?
Look, what you're saying, Wolf, is that you're a novice in
Oh,
tabletop playing.
Dungeon Dweller just shared his streaming schedule. Tuesdays at 8:30 is AD and Dungeons and Dragons. Wednesday at 8 is Traveler. Friday at 9:30 is Gamma World. But in October we'll play a short campaign of Call of Cthulhu. Sounds good.
Ooh, I might check it out. I started a campaign a while back, but COVID hit, and then they were like, no more Dungeons and Dragons for 2 years. So I'm just lost interest after that. That's me though. Oh, on a side note, I'm not gonna stay that long. Just I came by to say hi. Missed you guys, and also I wanted to tell you of my beautiful reading session of the comic book by RJ.
Which
Oh.
one?
You streamed yourself reading it?
No, I didn't stream it. I'm not that savvy. I don't have a good connection, and my computer is dead. Remember, so I don't have anything to use to stream anymore.
But you could use your phone.
Uh,
Twitch has
that-
the app, and I think there's also streaming on the YouTube app as well.
Okay, I didn't think of that. I might stream it then. But the story is absolutely good. It is really good. I like the way the story went. It made sense. It was very logical. The fights were nice, and the pacing was really good. And I actually liked the story. So Fizz, you're wrong again. And
Wait,
that's it.
Fizz read RJ's book?
Yeah, and he said it was trash, and I'm like, again, you're wrong. I
don't know. I
don't-
get the sense that Fizz is like into melodrama or something like that.
I don't know. I got the book, but I didn't have the time to read it, and other things keep bugging me, like Destiny and my PC. So I was busy with other things. So today I thought about let me read it, and I went through it. It just took me an hour to finish it. It was so good though. I really liked the story. I'm not gonna spoil anything. It is literally the redemption. It's a redemption story, and it's really good. I would really suggest you guys get it. It's worth it.
What's it called?
Thomas
Yeah.
Valiant.
I thought so.
Oh, and Dungeon
glad
Delver
you-
says
glad
I
you
stream
liked it."
Mondays and Thursdays too, but those are the nights I stream games. Oh, so games as in video games or games as in the tabletop? It's tabletop, right? It's an obvious
Who?
answer. Sorry.
Cool. Oh, Monday streams and Thursday too, but those nights are stream games. I'm assuming video games.
Oh, I think it's tabletop because he does a lot on tabletop the other day, so it's got to be more tabletop.
Oh, by the way, guys, what do you think of the She-Hulk series? Did anyone watch it or anything?
Oh no,
I
I don't
never
hate
I'm not
bothered
watch.
watching it.
watching it.
Me,
I
that
don't.
shit.
Mm-mm.
I'm not
I'd rather
watching it.
look.
I'm just,
Look,
Oh,
my comic book store
wait.
is still open, so I'm gonna be looking for the John Byrne She-Hulk.
Well,
Good for
if you're
you.
gonna do that, if you're gonna do that, then also look for the original She-Hulk series, Savage She-Hulk, and look for any of the issues of Avengers and Fantastic Four featuring her
Hmm.
before John Byrne's run.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Um,
actually remember that a
Dungeon
lot of her
Door,
stuff.
I'm sorry.
Hmm?
It's like I tune in to watch, but I don't sit through the whole entire
Oh,
stream.
okay.
Like I poke my head in, and I do my best to like give all the streams I watch a like.
I don't hate watch anything. I'm not going to put myself to that stress.
What? What? Wait.
I just
How did
Same,
we get
same here.
from that to hate watching? Slow
No,
down.
no,
he
no, no,
asked.
no, no. I just asked, did anyone watch She-Hulk or hate watch it or whatever? And
I never
for me,
bothered to watch it.
I, yeah, I assumed
Oh,
as much
okay.
because it was so bad. And for me, I just, I'm anything from Hollywood right now is just dead, dead. So I'm like, I don't even want to watch anything anymore. Only anime and reading whatever I can get. I
I
bought
mean, yeah.
a bunch,
I mean, yeah,
yeah,
because
a
like,
bunch of. Oh, go on. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, because I actually feel you, because like, it was straight after, I was watching
Oh,
what
excuse
which
me.
Spider-Man? What was the last MCU movie that I watched? Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man.
No Way Home.
No, not No Way Home.
Okay.
Far From Home. That's the second Spider-Man film, I think, in the MCU.
I didn't want to watch that one.
Yeah, it was after that, and yet
Oh
suddenly I
man,
started
Dungeon
No.
Dweller.
realizing, and yet I
Dungeon
started
Dweller. Like,
realizing, and
uh,
yet after the MCU films, after that, I was just like, what's the point? Literally, what's the point?
There's
Dungeon
no
Dweller.
point.
You have my condolences if you watched Rings of Power. I'm so sorry.
You actually watched that toxic piece of shit.
I didn't
Wow.
watch it. I
No,
didn't
no, not
watch it.
you, not you. I mean him, the poor fellow.
No,
Oh,
don't like. I understand like fans giving something a chance. They're trying to give it a chance, but sometimes
here's the thing.
all
No,
you have to do is read what the creator is saying, then you piece it together. But
at least
I understand people being optimistic because that's hope, and they're trying to stay hopeful. But damn, there's a
they
point
don't.
where it's just you can't really go forward anymore.
Yeah, because
th-
that's literally how I felt after the MCU, after watching Spider-Man Far From Home. It's just like, what's the point?
Well, that's the way I felt after coming out of Endgame. There's no reason to go on, and then knowing that now going forward, everything's about agenda and storytelling, and then get rid of all the characters that I love. There was no reason for me to waste my time with it. I had to come to realize that the MCU is not the MCU I've known and loved over the past 10 years. That it's now about politics, and I don't even how little it could be a speck, a dot, a little teeny tiny weeny of it. I didn't want anything to do with it.
Wolf, this is your cue.
What?
What?
Wait.
Come
Everybody
on,
go.
you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-oh.
Everyone go check out.
don't-
Go check
Ah,
out
okay.
Dungeon Delver's reviews. If you're
I don't know.
interested.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to be queuing on.
Oh, Dungeon Delver. I'll check out the reviews because I've seen a bunch of reviews lately. Your review videos. I'll check it out.
There is no reason for me to watch The Rings of Power because it's a joke. It's not Tolkien. That show was made out of hatred of Tolkien, not of love of Tolkien. So I don't even bother to watch that. I'd rather go back and watch my Peter Jackson versions and also my Peter Jackson extra time added collection, deleted scenes versions of Lord of the Rings. Much more entertaining than what they're doing right now. So I don't need to see that.
12D. See ya.
Or
Wherever you went.
read and or reread the books.
Yes,
I really need to.
better people to go back and read the books. You'll find them to be much more entertaining than what
Oh,
Amazon.
he came back.
Multiply.
I thought
got
you left.
disconnected. No, I would not leave without telling you guys. I got disconnected. It's
Yep.
my phone, so it's kind of updating in the middle, so that's why. Anyways, well, do I have to say it so you would understand?
I don't think I like
Negro,
the sound of it.
I figured it out.
Exactly. Thank you.
Stop!
Oh.
Stop!
Either way, I still didn't even like the sound of it.
What?
Uh, the troll in me had to come out. I'm sorry. I like to troll people.
Was
It's
that
fun.
your idea? The wolf, that's your idea.
Oh,
I
It
know I
wasn't
was
a
part
wolf.
of it. I
Blame it on
just
Tola himself. He
did
came up
not.
with the idea. He just said it.
I didn't catch it.
Afterwards.
I didn't know he was talking about having put that up and think, okay, let's throw Leia off by showing off pure muscle tone tree Rogers, and then I get all flustered and I can't communicate and get my words out.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
oh, I
you
sent.
have
You're too
Sorry
wicked.
to interrupt. Dungeon Dover says he hasn't watched it actually.
good for him.
Tell him good for
You
him.
saved your soul from that shit. Oh my god, black elves. Here's the thing.
like
My
hobbits.
first fuck
can say
everything that has to do. Here's the thing. I fucking hate everything with racial fucking switching and bullshit like that. Just make stories with black characters. You fucking ignorant motherfucking racists. Fuck you. You always do the same shit. Like, okay, there is a reason why elves are many types of elves, but they're not directly black skinned. The only ones that are black skinned are dark elves, and they are manifestations of darkness. They're elves that fell into the dark side. There's a fucking reason. But they keep doing this fucking race swapping thing as if it's fucking fucking
Motherfuckers, I
2021.
didn't look at Tolkien as where the black elves are.
Yeah, I never did either. I when I'm reading a Japanese manga, I'm not assuming that there is fucking black people or waiting to see any black people. I just want a story.
Mm-hmm.
But then, oh, we have to make it progressive and inclusive and diverse. Ho ho ho! Let's add some sprinkles of black people, sprinkles of Asians, switching out
Have you
characters.
looked at communist Russia or Nazi Germany during World War II?
Exactly my fucking
Or
point.
or Mao's reign in China,
Yeah,
Or yeah, that, yeah.
it's exactly the
or
same.
even or even or even go or even go Woven Diao with the Khmer Rouge in Vietnam.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same
Oh,
fucking
I would
propaganda
love
bullshit.
to see these motherfuckers try to adapt the Khmer Rouge.
Oh, fuck no.
Oh, I want to see that, and I'll
I
probably
remember
throw up at
I
some
remember in
point,
that
but I
one
want to see it.
there's that one YouTube video that I shared with you guys today, and in one of the comments of that video, right? Somebody had mentioned like that'd be like how they would try, like imagine if they try to even portray the Khmer Rouge as positive. I'm like, oh man, that'd be fucking weird, wouldn't it? Or at least
Oh,
Dude, they
I'm
would do
thinking of a
that.
proper adaptation, not like
Wolf,
the messed up revisionist history that they do.
Wolf, the thing is,
yeah, it
they
started
would do it. They would do it. They would generally, honest to God, do it. And they would do it with a smile on their face. They're fucking commies, man. Like, I don't understand. Like, their stories. Stories are, here's the thing. This is where my biases come into, okay? I grew up with like there's an old anime I saw when I was a kid. Like it was the first anime I've ever seen in my life. It's the first cartoon, maybe no, it's the second maybe cartoon I watched. But anyways, it's Japanese. It was in Arabic translation. It's from the fucking 70s. And this anime literally has a heroic story. Literally the most heroic character you can ever imagine. And that's that thing, that implementation of the hero attracts you so much and you don't even know why because you're a child and you look at it and you see this person is what I want to be. And what these fuckers are doing is just taking the hero, dismantling him and making him a villain or fucking shitting on the story and makes no sense. And the reason they do this is because they want to destroy people's will to fight. That's all they want to do. This is Marxist Communist
It's
101.
very
101.
it's very apathetic too.
Yes, exactly. They just rip the soul out of it and give you this husk, and then people tell you like, "Hey, it's nostalgia. Watch it." And then, fuck no. But on a very happy on a very happy note, I actually Razor Fist saved me in one thing when it comes to the anime. I like that story that I was gonna mention. It's called Grandizer. It's called,
Ooh,
you know it?
Ooh.
You guys know
I
it?
know of it by name,
Okay.
but I know,
Okay.
but
All right.
I've heard of
All
it.
right.
Yeah, I've heard
All
of
right.
it.
Okay. It's a
Grandizer. Okay,
1970s
man.
anime. It's a 1970s anime, okay? It was translated to like hundreds of languages, including Arabic. I watched it in Arabic as a kid. Duke Fleet is basically my idol hero because of the fact of the matter is he's a man who's an alien who came to Earth, lost his planet, basically lost his people and
Oh,
his
it's
planet.
made by Go Nagai, so
Mm-hmm.
he probably
Name
knows
Exactly.
like
about
Golden
it
Guy is
too.
Yes.
freaking awesome.
And
Yeah.
the best thing about it,
That's
it
how I know
has
about it.
it is wholesome as fuck. It is beautifully wholesome. It's dark, of course, because the aliens are evil, but it's
Yeah,
really, really
Golden Guy
wholesome.
is freaking dark as fuck.
Yeah, but this one isn't. The villains are evil, are dark. But the
Yeah, that's what I'm
story,
saying.
yeah, but the character, unlike Devilman, where he fucking is like, I don't know where the fuck that story goes to. Because to be honest with you, using what is that? It's called Gnostic, the Gnostic verses of the ancient Bible. That's fucked. But leave that aside. Um, for me, Grandizer is one of the most epiphany of heroic journeys. I loved it so much. I didn't even know that there was the entire complete anime, which I found, and it's like 70, 50. I think it's 76 episodes, 56 episodes. I have it, and I started watching it again, and so I can refresh my memory. I'm, I think, in episode 19 or 19 right now. But anyways,
Oh,
um,
robot. Oh, that robot.
yep, Grandizer. He's the biggest of all those go Nagai's
Real
robots.
robots.
Yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
one of the strongest one. He's not one. He is the strongest because I think he made three different anime, manga or
The guy
anime
always
before.
make these super
Yeah,
awesome
it's
That was manga.
it was a manga
characters.
first, then it got
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
an
yeah,
anime adaptation, and then
yeah. That
there was a novel that had like 5 short stories released,
that
according
is
Mm-hmm.
correct.
to.
That is correct. The the white pill or the good news that I wanted to share
Oh, not
is
real robot, super robot.
yeah, he is a super robot. Grandizer is like the most powerful robot in the galaxy, but there is a
For all
reason for. But
for
anyways,
those who don't know the difference between real robot and super robots are giant sentient machines. Real robots are piloted by humans.
yeah, Grandizer is basically semi sentient, but he's actually more piloted by Duke Fleet
Hmm.
of the planet Fleet, and he's a robot that is part of a space of a flying saucer combination, basically allowing him to transverse space. But let me remember. Okay, the main happiness that brought to me because of fucking Razor Fist was the French actually made comic books continuation of Grandizer faithful to the adaptation, faithful to the story. They made it word for word a continuation of the story or a revamp or whatever it is. I don't know, but it's I saw the trailer. It looked beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the best thing about it is true to the source material. So they don't destroy anything of the story. But I don't know how it is since it's French. Remember, Alois, when were having this discussion about um, comic books and light novels from the French, which are basically really based and really, really good stories,
Yeah,
heroic
the
journeys. But we can't
French
read them
comics.
because they're French comics. They're French.
Nobody's
Uh
Yeah,
translated them.
yeah, the
yep.
people who are
Debate.
responsible for
Realizing is
licensing
stronger, and the guy made a point.
and translating things, they don't like translating base stuff. They just give us
By the way, William Sova, just to let you know, actually the most powerful is Grandizer. There is a specific reason for that. First of all, unlike Mazinger's, the different
Ye-
Mazinger Kaiser robots, all three of them are human made. So they're limited to the elements of the human world, of Earth. While Grandizer is literally an alien robot, the strongest robot ever created by the Vega Empire, using planet fleet's technology and material. Because of that, Grandizer is really strong. First of all, he's really tall. I think he's taller than all the robots compared that Goina guy made. I'm sorry if I'm a bit passionate about this. Is because I really, really love the story. But
No, share your
yeah.
passion.
Yeah. Um, and to be honest with you, the story itself, the whole point of the story was it's not like the other stories that they make just to sell materials or to sell toys. This story was actually a story first. It was a comic book first or a manga first. Then, as Alois said, an anime adaptation and a couple of light novels or novels. But what made me so happy is that on YouTube, it's literally there now. They made basically a French comic book of it, and it's really good. The animation is the drawing is absolutely beautiful. And of course, it doesn't go by Grandizer because in France they don't know him as Grandizer. They know him as Goldrack or Golden Rock or something like that. I don't know what that means, but it's French for his name. But
Damn.
again, Razor Fist is right again. If you want Western stories, you have to go to the French, which
Yeah.
I don't like the French. I have really really biased hate towards them. But if their stories are good, I'll uh, I will forego that hatred permanently if I have to.
I mean,
That's
to
how
be
much
fair,
I
like
love.
Quebecoises aren't the same as like the native French.
Well, the native French are not that better either. I had to pass when I was traveling to Canada. I had to go through France and Frankfurt, and also Frankfurt, Germany. So I interacted with both. The Germans were actually nicer, which is funny. I thought the
Yeah.
Germans would be a bit ruder to me, but no, it was the French who were ruder. But anyways, um,
I
so
can't really fault them considering like their society right now is falling apart because
yep.
a bunch of people are just like flooding in and they can't
But
maintain
but
the
here's the thing, Alois. It's falling apart through their own actions or
yeah.
their own inaction. So it's their fault. If it collapses, it's their fucking problem.
At the
You don't.
same time,
I
I
know you
was
should. You
I was
feel
watching a
sorry
video.
for them. Hmm?
No, it's not that. Like I kind of have like a bit of empathy towards the French too. So I mean, I guess it's kind of hypocritical of me to say like Quebecois aren't the same as French, but like,
Yeah, I
but
understand.
but like, I mean, I also respect that they've created wonderful art, even if
True. Yeah,
I
true.
kind of
French gave us Black Sad.
But just to let you know, with the beautiful art they created, they also created fucking Marxism and postmodernism. So that
yeah,
fucking
that's my
balances it out.
problem with for the
The,
French too.
I look at the French as a blight on the planet. Like if we can just nuke France and Germany, it'll be done. The whole world will be
Yeah,
peaceful. But the thing is, the
You say the
disease
same
has
thing about pandas
That
too.
that's hard. That's
pandas
hard.
don't
And
fucking
dolphins.
exist. Here's the thing:
no, but
pandas
I was
Pandas should be
watching.
skinned
I
and
was
just
gonna.
turned into fucking coats. That's all I'm saying, okay? When it comes to
Yeah,
dolphins,
There's
dolphins should be eaten. They should be eaten. You'd be like, hey, you think you can just come around and rape our women and you think you're gonna survive? Nope. We're gonna eat you motherfuckers. or sell you to the Chinese and they eat you.
well, actually, you guys,
ouch.
on the eating of the dolphins and the whales, it turns out that the Japanese eating the whales and dolphins was actually a good thing because that prevented a parasite
Overpopulation.
from. No, there was a parasite that is a result of the decay of whales and dolphins when they die in the ocean.
Oh,
And
sure.
now Japan has that parasite in their salmon because they stopped eating whale and dolphin due to
Got all
environmentalists.
kind of crazy shit happening in their damn food. It's freaking
Yeah.
hilarious how the Japanese are so negligent about things, or at
No,
least their
but like, but it
Yeah.
was a good thing that they were eating the whales and the dolphins in their waters, because the thing is, those whales and dolphins weren't even native to their waters, and they were eating them, so that prevented the parasites from going into their fish. And now, because they're not eating whales and dolphins, their fish are infected with a parasite from the decaying bodies of dolphins and whales in their waters.
Well, the more you
Oh,
know.
wait a minute. Dungeon Delver is saying, just say grandizer a few more times. That's all I'm asking. Okay. Why is it? Why is it like my accent is fucked or something? Oh, Boss Borotto. Hell no. Go screw yourself, Iron Cast Knight. Boss Borotto's a fucking comedy robot. It's a fucking comedy. He's like what do you call it? The comic relief. He's like, oh, Ore-sama-da. I am the boss here. Oh, dumbass character. But still, he was just a funny robot. But yeah. But no, seriously, grandizer or grind. I speak more Arabic, so it's grandizer. That's how we know it. But it's grandizer, the most powerful robot in the galaxy. If I could find the statue, I would buy it, even if it's like $500, a fucking grand. I'll buy the fucking beautiful one. But I can't find it. It's so limited edition. It kills me. Had been
those poor
painting.
people.
Ah, what is this? Did you know China has been painting their mountains green to fool environmentalists to think that they're green? Yeah, they were painting it jade, as they said, like the
Those
Jade
poor
Mountains.
people. All that manpower. People probably
Yep,
starve to death doing that shit.
yep. Oh, don't forget too, they have
Actually,
fucking COVID
they
lockdowns. Still,
actually they kind of use those pointless jobs as a means to like continue the to make the common economy continue flowing, even though it's not natural development. That's why they also do that thing with the houses where they just have empty buildings that they repaint and that they demolish and rebuild just to keep people working.
So just to stave off boredom. Got it.
No, just to keep the economy from collapsing because they have
And to stave off
mismanaged
boredom.
things.
Point still stands. They're bored out their fucking minds too. They don't want to get broke, and they're afraid of getting bored out of their damn minds too.
It's gonna pop. That it's gonna crash. You guys
for
thought
some,
20. If you guys thought 2008 was bad, get ready for something worse coming up the
yeah,
hill.
yeah, it's called 2022 and the nuclear winter that we're gonna have in 2023. But
Oh god.
regard,
I know,
uh,
like, what's it called? Biden said something about like a long winter or something, the black winter. I don't know what the hell that was about. Can't remember what it
Ah,
was.
ah,
Dynamic D100,
ah,
William
ah,
Silva. Wolf, could you hold on for a second, Wolf? I'm trying to see what the William is saying here. Hey, African Snake, have you picked up Dynamic D100? D100 is a tabletop RPG based on the works of. No, are you for real? Oh, I need to get that. I need to get that. Damn it! I hate being broke. I really hate being broke.
They
Oh,
say I
did you
walk
guys
like a
see
king,
Neo?
talk like a
Did you
king.
guys see Neo Star
Grandizer,
Productions?
go!
The hold up, Neo Star Productions said something. He said the Generalissimo dies tonight. I have painted my children for the last time.
What the fuck is a good General Misto? Whatever the fuck that is. Oh, by the way,
I'm guessing it's Italian or Spanish for something, but I don't know what it is. And I speak Spanish.
oh,
Anyway, they say I walk like a
I
king,
gotta,
talk
I
like a
gotta.
king.
Oh, sorry, I
I'm giving you a
gotta.
farewell song. Sis, shut up. You can ask the
Yeah.
crowd now. They say the same thing. They chasing the fame. They all want the name, but they ain't got what's running through these veins. They say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can
But he's
ask around
corn
now. They
pop.
say the same thing. They're chasing the fame. They don't want the name, but they ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the bang, 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 bang.
Make way for the corn pop.
Right? That song be slamming. One of these days I'm gonna blast that song for you guys.
I might download it if it's that good.
It's called "Make Way for the King" by Ohana Bam. I'll send you a link to the song.
Yeah, please do. Dynamic
Are you a
T.
king or are you a kangs?
Oh, please don't start that shit. Please don't start that shit. I'm
Fuck that
too
king shit.
intellectual for those fuckers. What happened again? Did I get disconnected again? Oh yeah.
No,
Sorry. The
we hear
fucking
you.
yeah. The thing is, my sister is using my internet, and she took my cable, and she's like
They
drawing
use
in
that
all the
song
power.
for they use that
Yeah,
song
it's
for Invincible.
the
They use it
bandwidth.
for
Yep.
the promotion of the Black Panther expansion on the Marvel's Avengers song. So can't get that song out of my head, but I love it though. I love it.
I have to
Yeah.
hear it.
By the way, William. Yes, I think I'm gonna get that, but it's
Links
gonna
in the
take me a while. I'm
chat.
broke. Oh, thanks. First volume.
Oh, the dungeon delver said it's Meliodas.
Meliodas isn't that guy from that story from?
No, I can't pronounce it. It's
Girl, you be reading these damn
Meliodas.
comments late and shit. I already highlighted that.
Yeah. It's
Melodious Grandizer,
yeah.
not
It's
Grandizer.
because
Melodious.
I open the comments window and I'm just like reading it.
Look,
I
girl, if
don't.
I'm gonna be in charge of you reading the damn comments, you can't be doing all that shit.
All
Can
right, I'll
you
just
can you
read the
say
highlighted comments then.
go Riser? Go
Especially when I'm actually
go
looking at
Riser?
if we get an interloper trying cut up and shit.
Yeah. We gotta cut up and shit.
hmm All I'm saying is, with the porn bots been happening and all this bunch of bullshit been happening recently, I
Oh
gotta keep
wait, did
an
you
eye on that shit.
Oh, by
like?
the way, Wolf, I got what happened was also I think there's a YouTuber that I follow about
hmm
Destiny, and I just made a comment about because they killed the Crucible, basically the PvP. They just murdered it with an
Wow.
update
Now I get
today. Like I stopped playing. I can't play anymore. They just killed it. My friend got
well, now I
pissed so
gotta
much.
uninstall it now. Ain't shit for me to do there. I don't even got the damn expansions.
Oh my god. I don't know why they did that. They literally killed the fucking Crucible. They just took a giant
Because it
knife
has
and
a cross on it. It sounds like a cross. They're afraid of.
no, I wish that was the case. They didn't do that technically. What they actually did
Pretty
was
easy to say that.
they added some bullshit to the game which shouldn't be. Crucible is just a place to relax. It's not like high
hmm
competitive place. They made it into a competitive place. Basically they took the fun out of it. But anyways, we'll see how it goes. For me, I'm not gonna play for a while, or I'm gonna play PVE only, or uh, ad- uh the story elements and stuff. But anyways, what I wanted to say is things are getting really weird nowadays here in Canada. Some really good news. We have a good opposition leader for the first time, and the government. Yeah, we actually got a really good opposition leader for the first time, and he's legitimate, which is great for the first time. And our third on top in Ontario is very scared. That's the good news. So
That's
therefore,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good
But
to hear.
Oh, did you guys hear about the king arresting people? Like arresting a bunch of lefties that said "not my king."
it's not the king. It's
I
just
know, I
the
know.
police.
Make
Yeah.
I
way
know,
for the
but
king.
a lot of royalists like reported lefties for like slander against the king, since the since it's required by law to arrest people.
Yeah, because remember, it's a monarchy, it's not a republic, so therefore you lose your rights the moment the king says, off with his head.
Whether they like it or not, they are going to get a king, so they might as well
Yeah,
get used to it. The only reason they're doing it is because the next in line is a man. We'll deal with it. That's it. It's
Yeah,
going to
that's
be that
that's the
way for
only
a long
reason.
time. The
That's the
rest,
only
yep,
reason why they're causing a
yeah,
public disturbance over there, because it's
yeah,
a guy, and it's
it's a
gonna be
guy.
another guy too.
Yeah, it's
So
going to
they
be a
better
guy
get
Mhm.
used to it.
and another guy after that, and another guy after that. So they better get used to it.
yep.
That's why I
And the
say
best
it's
thing
all right.
about it
Is
is,
this your king?
I mean, not to mention. I mean,
Is
not to
this your
mention
king?
what they don't realize by doing the slander, like they're insulting the queen, even after
Yes.
her death.
Yeah, that's what they don't think. You're right.
Yeah.
Dominic, I
I
agree with
mean,
you. They
they
don't
should be
realize.
glad that it's not Andrew sitting the throne, because apparently that's the guy who visited Pedo Island.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They better be glad about
Oh
that.
yeah.
I mean, the woman ain't even in the ground, and already they're being just rude. That's just plain rude.
It
That's
Yeah.
no
just plain
no
rude,
no no. I
disrespectful.
find it cowardice, complete fucking cowardice that they wait for somebody to be in the fucking grave so that then they can talk shit about them. Because everybody knows that while they're still alive, there'll be a lot of people willing to defend that person even when they're alive. But the thing is also that person can also talk shit back at them too. So what do? They wait for them to die, and then they start coming out the woodwork. Or rather, here's the reason why they do it most of the time. They're doing it just to rile up people, mostly to rile up people. They're basically playing the Onision card, which is he say the most inane bullshit to get a rise out of people. Mostly, for the most part, that's what
Hmm.
they fucking do. It's like they don't have they try to disassociate themselves of their humanity. They want to do that. They want to remove their humanity from themselves. So when they do that shit, they have no problem being inhumane. That's what they
Oh
that's,
no,
You're
child
just
of
describing.
flower. Really? He does
Can I
have the
make a
corgis.
fucking speech without you freaking out?
Sorry, I'm just reading the child of flowers comment.
Girl, how old are
The,
you again?
I'm just saying the petal prince has the dogs, and that's just sad.
just to let you know, Alois, they're just dogs.
I don't care. They don't deserve to be treated terribly by a petal.
She's not
Wait,
wrong.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. How do you know he's treating them badly? He could be absolutely kind to these animals. You don't know.
We don't
But,
we don't
but,
ca- we don't agree with
but,
whoever you want to fuck, but if you treat dogs good, well, we still don't agree with who the fuck you want to fuck. But you know
at,
what? Maybe there's some hope for you.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. My premise is that animals in the end are just animals. You can't do anything about it. And some people turn to animals, so that's why you give them the lead injection. Pedos included. But anyways, I gotta go to sleep because I got work tomorrow. It's my
One thing.
at the end of the weekend. I gotta go. But still, I wish I saw the stream earlier. I was reading the book, so I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
It's
Don't we just
fine.
talk
I
about it,
I
dude?
have
How many how many
what
pages did it have, the book?
80 pages. It has
Damn,
art
that's a
for.
lot.
Yeah, I can finish that easily. It's I used to read books like for like nothing, but uh, I lost that habit because of my attention span got shorter because of fucking YouTube. But that's neither here or there. I have to ask you guys a question. I have a couple of books. I want to start them. I just don't know which one I want to start. So I'll I want to see a vote here. I have Volume One for Overlord. I have Lord of the Rings. I have the new Spawn books, comic books, and I have a Neurophile or Nero, Nero. What is it? Nero. I forgot the name. Hold on a second. Let me turn on the lights. Uh, It's what is it called again? Neuromancer. Which one should I read?
Neuromancer.
Yeah.
William Gibson.
The Necromancer? Or, oh, it's called
No,
Necro.
no, 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 no.
Oh,
It's called Neuromancer.
Yes,
okay.
Neuromancer.
My fault. Well, with me,
That's fine.
I would say Lord of the Rings. I think you should really read Tolkien's words as his words.
Mm.
But that's just me.
No problem. That's why I'm asking for your opinion because every person has their own unique aspect. But I just want to see how many people align to what, or just if everybody's gonna tell me to read any separate book, then I'll read them in the fastest way that I can, so that I can go through them. I'll read the shorter ones first. Then, in that case, Neuromancer is pretty short. It looks like it, so I might read that one first. But I do have the Lord of the Rings, so I'll read that too.
Yes, I do. It'll be good. Read Tolkien's words as his words. Cloud out all this other giggly garbage that you're getting from the left or SJWs or wokeism, and read his words for yourself with your own mind and your own imagination. Now, I was a child when I started reading Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, and so I just want to say back to Wolf talked about this. Never, ever, 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 ever did I ever think for 1 second that any character in that book had to look like me. That was so unnecessary for me to enjoy the book. So this garbage poison that these woke nuts are passing to this generation, thinking the only way you can like Tolkien is if the characters are black, is garbage. That is just pure garbage. No one needs that. That's not true. It's a lie. And talking from
Mm-hmm.
somebody here that has been reading Tolkien since her childhood. And this was way, way before even the Peter Jackson movies came out. There was never 1 minute that I ever had to say, oh, there are no Negro dwarves or elves in this thing. I'm not going to read it. I didn't care. I didn't care. All I cared about was the story and the characters. And I knew they were elves. They were fantasy characters. So it wasn't really
Exactly.
necessary.
Like
So
I
this,
Exactly.
told, like I told Ishii once when I first talked to him on his stream, like my representation was always real life black folk. I didn't need no damn show or movie to fucking tell me what I
yeah,
needed to see to see
yeah.
myself. I see myself every fucking day. I'm looking at my black people every fucking day. What I need a damn show for that for? Now,
Here's
granted, a fucking
Wolf. There's
show
also
that has a black face in it, that's a fucking given. Okay?
yeah, yeah. Oh, by the way, Wolf. For me, I honestly like. For example, for me, the epiphany of heroism is Superman, and I
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
look at him and I
yes.
see myself in him. I see myself in the
Oh,
human
straight
that
up.
Superman is. That he is a man. That is a man. He's a farmer from Kansas City, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Mhm.
like a down to earth person, and that's his true nature. Clark Kent is who he is. Like, what is that fucking bastard's name from that movie? From Kill Bill. You know Kill Bill?
Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bill.
Bill.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, that's his name. Oh my god, I'm such a retard. I'm sorry. It's just that I got angry because here's the thing. Because of my nihilism, when I saw that movie, it made sense. I'm like, wow, Superman is such. He looked down on us, and I'm like, and that the nihilism, you know. But then I realized something. Wait a fucking minute. He grew up human. He grew up as a child. He got his powers in his teens. He didn't get it like when he was born. Or was he? I don't remember. Many iterations of the story. But seriously though, he doesn't see us as cowards the way that fucking Bill says. Like, oh, he's cowardly and all that, and that's just his interpretation of humanity. He's wrong. It turns out that Clark Kent is who Superman literally is. Superman is the persona. That's how it should be. That's how it is. But
About
I
two
didn't
minutes.
realize.
Just
Hmm?
about 2 minutes. Just long enough for me to finish my point. Now, the
Yeah,
state
sorry.
of superhero mythology is there's a superhero and there's the alter ego. Batman is
Yep.
actually Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man is actually Peter Parker. When
Mm-hmm.
that character wakes up in the morning, he's Peter Parker. But he has to put on a costume to become Spider-Man. And it's in that characteristic Superman stands alone. Superman didn't become Superman. Superman was born Superman. When Superman wakes up in the morning, he's Superman. His alter ego is Clark Kent. His outfit with the big red S, that's the blanket he was wrapped in as a baby when the Kents found him. Those are his clothes. What Clark What Kent wears, the glasses, the business suit, that's the costume. That's the costume Superman wears to blend in with us. Clark Kent is how Superman views us. And what are the characteristics of Clark Kent? He's weak, he's unsure of himself, he's a coward. Clark Kent is Superman's critique on the whole human race. So like Beatrix Kiddo and Miss Tommy Plimpton. So the point emerges. You would have worn the costume of Marlene Plimpton, but you were born Beatrice Kiddo. And every morning when you woke up, you'd still be Beatrice Kiddo. Oh, you can take the needle out now. Are you calling me a superhero? I'm calling you a killer. A natural born killer. You always have been, and you always will be. Moving to El Paso, working in a used record store, going to the movies with Tommy's, clipping coupons. That's you, trying to disguise yourself as a worker bee. That's you trying to blend in with the hive, but you're not a worker bee. You're a renegade killer bee. And no matter how much beer you drank, or barbecue you ate, or how fat your ass got, nothing in the world ever changed that.
Now,
That's
continue,
And
Wolf.
just to say that that's a lie. People do change.
exactly.
People
That was
do.
Yeah,
what I was doing a
that
monologue.
was my reaction. That was my reaction too. To like
My
during like Bill's little speech, and
yeah.
not just with being upset with how he views Superman, but also like his viewpoint on things.
Well,
Yeah,
let me ask
he's
Because
a
you this.
nihilist.
Surprised I
Wait a minute.
almost believed his ass.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
see,
almost did because I was a nihilist too. I believed him because his point was
I
so
believe because he was talking about
poignant.
Superman. I like to hear people's thoughts on Superman. I thought that was actually a very interesting viewpoint on Superman.
I did
Hmm.
too. That's why I was going to ask you guys. Don't you think he makes a good point? I mean, he was born Superman. He
That
was
was
Yes, he
born with
is.
the
those
thing is
powers. That is who
that
he
was his
is.
viewpoint of how people are trying to mask themselves. So he
But
pretty much
there
it's
is one.
also saying
There's one contentions though.
yeah.
Superman was not born with those powers. Superman received those powers because he came to Earth. If he's on Krypton, he's just a normal man. But he's
But okay, Wolf, what were you going to say?
I like I said it. I think this is where the nihilists and the SJ hobos get this point about superheroes, or at least
No,
how they.
Superman was born Kal-El, and on Earth he was raised as Clark Kent.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
name Superman is what humanity sees him as.
Yes. Keep going.
the name that you
And
should.
Don't
and
hang me in
he's
suspicion, girl. Keep going.
yeah, and that's what humanity sees him as
Humanity.
Superman. It's not it's not what he sees himself as because he was raised Clark Kent. And the it's not what the because he was raised Clark Kent, but the Kryptonians see him as Kal-El because that's what he was born as. So it's only humanity that sees Superman as Superman.
Okay, you all beat me out at points, but
And
I
Great
get what
job.
you're.
Now you may go and watch your TV.
I'm just saying that when I first heard that speech from Kill Bill, I was like a lot of you. He sucked me into it too. Maybe I didn't get the context at the
well,
time. Go
I
ahead,
didn't.
Dominic.
Well, I did. I wasn't really sucked in by Bill's speech because I disagreed. I disagreed with what he was saying because I am naturally an optimist, and I stand against like with that particular viewpoint because like those like who are like who chooses to remain cynical and nihilistic, they don't realize that they're doing themselves and the people around them more harm than good in the long run if they don't allow themselves to change.
Is that what the point of the speech was? Was he trying to say to her that there's no way she could change because she was an assassin for so long?
Pretty
I mean, I'm
much.
trying to get the analogy. Why did he bring up Superman to her?
He
He
views
tried.
her.
Well, he tried to sell to her that she can't change. She is due to the fact that she has been assassin for so long. However, as we see like in the movie, like later was able to prove Bill that he was wrong.
Okay, good point there. But I thought that maybe his description of Superman was pretty good. I mean, Kal-El is who he is.
It's the
So,
age-old thought process of Superman just being the superhero or the Superman.
okay. Okay. I mean,
But
that
but
speech has always been controversial because I always thought that, yeah, that does make sense. Peter Parker is really Peter Parker. He's got to put the mask on to be Spider-Man. Bruce Wayne is really Bruce Wayne. He's got to put on a mask to be Batman. But Superman is who he is.
Yeah, but that's where you're wrong. The representation of Superman is from the point of view of humanity. He's Superman because humanity named him Superman. He's not Superman because he's born Superman. He's born Cal of House L. That's how he is born. That's
Yes.
the point of contention that we're having. And
but
also,
on but on
he's
Earth,
not. Yeah.
He's Clark Kent. Like
Yeah.
he's the most human out of everybody. Even though
He's
though
Clark
he
Kent
is
before he was Superman.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even though he is a human alien, like he was human.
Exactly, because he was raised on Earth, because it's his home.
Yeah,
Exactly. And
yeah.
that's the thing is that we're all forgetting one thing here. You forget that Bill is a psychopath.
Oh yeah, and he's also and a
He's
liar.
and a liar and a manipulator. So therefore, all
And
this point that
possessive.
yeah, exactly, and psychotically jealous and possessive in the most weird sense. He kills the thing that he possesses, that he is so possessive of, instead of trying to get her back or tell her like, "No, baby, you need to come back home to me" or some shit like that. You have my child with you, something like that. No, he fucking comes to her wedding and shoots her in the fucking head. What kind of dumbass does that? A psychopath. So
Yeah, see,
therefore,
that's what I always got.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me,
because
the nihilist in me agreed with him because his point was nihilistic. But in reality, he's nothing
Let
more
me
than
quote
just
one
a
of my favorite
villain.
scenes in one of my
Mm,
favorite DC animated movies.
uh, fuck, I gotta go to sleep, man. Damn. Anyways,
Just
gotta
go.
go. Good
Get
night.
some shut eye.
I
The
Mhm.
African
the thing
Snake
is,
Goodbye.
Well,
yeah,
we enjoyed your time here. I understand about getting to work the next day, but we're glad you came by to say hello.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Mhm.
see you guys, and it's as usual. It's a pleasure to be here and to rant like a dumbass. Yes, you're right. Bill was low key gaslighting. That's why I hated that shit.
Good night. Wolf, or I've got a question, and this is the panel can answer this as well.
Whole question. I still
Okay,
got a quote.
okay. I will now
After,
let you speak.
after, after everything we've done, you still show us kindness. My Earth parents taught me forgiveness. Humanity has a lot to teach us. Perhaps. Kal-El, son of Krypton, I'm proud to call you my kin. Our greatness lives on in you. We don't have much time. There's a way to save us both. Surely you thought through it. Yes, so it has to be your choice. I'll try to find a way to cure you, but your own time is short. Do what you must. Send us to the Phantom Zone. That's from All Star Superman.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. Go ahead. Did you have more to quote? I'll let you
Nope, that's it.
continue. I
Every
have a
time, every time that scene comes up, every time when Borel says, I'm, I'm proud to call you my kin," I get teary eyed.
it is emotional, and that's what it's
For him
supposed
to
to
say
be.
something like that,
indeed.
so I'm proud to call you my kin. I'm like, oh, oh my
Yes,
goodness.
that's that's what it's supposed to do. That's good. That shows you these stories aren't just frivolous entertainment. They can emotionally mean something. Which brings me to my question. Because I'm going back to a few comments you made back. Why is escapist entertainment particularly being attacked? Why are they trying to put politics in realism and escapism. Because for the comment you made earlier, I can't quite remember the quote, but it sounds like, I don't know if everybody's aware, but Whoopi Goldberg and her cackling hags from The View were attacking, because that's what they are, and
They are definitely hags.
they are a bunch of stupid cackling. I said it, stupid, ignorant, cackling hags.
Funny that you said cackling because she literally voiced a hyena in The Lion King. I think it was.
I know. I got one.
Oh,
Make mine a cub sandwich.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember which one though. I like to say it was
Shenzi.
Ed because Shenzi. I wish I
Mhm.
want to say
Look, I respect the bitch
Ed.
enough
Ed is
to
the one
actually
that
to
he
know
literally
who the
has
fuck
no
she was
dialogue except
voicing.
for laughing a lot.
Well, perfect for her. Well, earlier this week, she went on a rant about the race swapping particularly in fantasy stories, saying it does it. She went on this rant saying, what, black people can't play dwarves and elves and dragons and black little mermaids, and she called
Bitch,
us.
we had a fucking black Nelwyn in the original Willow. What the fuck is you bitching about? We
That's
got
beside-
several. We had a Mexican one. We had we've had that shit all the fucking time. All the fucking time. Even a fucking black elf in the Dungeons and Dragon movie of the 90s.
We have had black people in fantasy stories. That shows you they don't read or watch. They think they do, but they don't. They're just jumping on the bandwagon. Look at of course the success of Black
Look,
Panther.
the thing is,
Tell us
I
what
can
you care.
give them some leeway of wanting more of it. I will give them that. I will give like if you're saying we need more of that, then why are you not begging Whitey to create a story, a new story where we have black elves and black dwarves?
Because they
I-
can't create anything.
They don't want to create.
Yeah, they don't.
And,
But I want
and besides,
you were
like,
echoing earlier.
if they really want that sort of stuff, they could. There's like a lot, like you guys said, there's a lot of stuff from the past that, that was made with
There
that
are
in mind. Like,
It's
No.
more
like I
so-
mentioned, like I mentioned earlier, the Imaru Sword and Sorcery novel series, like, has, like, it was made in the 1980s, so like they could just look for that sort of content, because like there's so much stuff that has been made that people haven't seen, that they can dig through. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of work to dig through a lot to find the diamonds in the rough, but it's worth it, because otherwise things will be forgotten.
true.
It's more so to do with on how, whenever what we're seeing in recent years, whenever you're going to be approaching a story or even making a story with contempt and saying, I don't agree with this, you tend to feel unhappy about it. And this is basically what we're seeing. They're just not very happy with a lot of this, and they're so insecure about it that they're
Mhm.
so content with it. They approach it with such contempt, they're not happy about it.
Right.
I think right now it's just like Hollywood is angry that fantasy and science fiction are taking a focus, while all their other stuff that they want to push isn't really doing so well, and that's why they're trying to like push into the fantasy and sci-fi stuff in order to
Mhm.
hog up all the attention that should be going to deserve things that are deserving of the attention. But that's why
Exactly,
they
'cause-
have so much contempt for it.
I
Because
agree.
then here's the
Seriously,
thing.
Rocky, you could not fucking unclamp the damn things. I had to do the input. Fucking game. Yet
'Cause the-
again, there are barely any games where the damn NPCs, or at least your computer controlled characters, don't do the legwork. You still got to do the legwork, even though you did most of the stuff to get done. Majority of the stuff to get done. Fucking games, man.
Dominic, you were gonna
Like,
say. I had to say something, but
Like fucking Prince of Persia did that well in spades. The very
Mhm.
first Prince of Persia game. Hell, freaking Bioshock Infinite for all its warts and all had that shit in spades. Even freaking Lost. What's that? What's that one? What was that
Well,
one
guys,
game?
I gotta go.
Bye.
Uh, see
Bye,
you
Good,
guys.
Eloise.
good, good night, Eloise. Nice talking to you.
See you later.
See ya. I'll
Good
be in
night.
the chat. I just can't continue talking. It's nighttime here.
That,
12:25.
that's okay.
Well, I'm getting at is the fact that we had Prince of Persia with Farah and the Prince. Farah helping out with the legwork and all that stuff, and that continued on in Prince of Persia 3. We had that one game that freaking Ninja Theory had made after hell they before that they had Heavenly Sword. But there was that one game where you had the Monkey King and some redhead broad. What was it called again? Wow,
What
that game
game?
was Odyssey,
Hmm.
Odyssey of the West or something like that.
Hmm.
Are you talking about Lost
Enslaved.
Odyssey?
No, Enslaved. Odyssey of the West. It was called Enslaved.
Hmm.
Lost Odyssey. That's a good game though. RPG. But no, yeah, you had that. You had Bioshock Infinite with Elizabeth or Isabel.
No, it's Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Yeah, yeah. Her doing some of the stuff too. You know, are you going? What?
Also, also the X-Men. Also, the original X-Men Legends games and Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Like the NPCs of your team. Like they also helped you in pulling the legwork in each mission.
Mm-hmm. Without you have well, with you having to prompt it, yes, but like I said, like it's so hard to find games where it gets exhausting. Let's just say that it gets very exhausting having to do just about every damn thing in a freaking video game. I want to complain about the NPCs doing too much shit. Now, that's all I'm saying. You get my drift? Do you any of y'all get my drift? At least.
Mm, mm.
Yes.
Yeah, we understand.
Hmm.
It's like I want to complain about the NPCs do too much to the point where the game plays itself at this point.
You gotta forgive me. I get what you're saying. I get a little thrown off. We jumped from the subject about
We
Yeah,
didn't
because
the
I
even
was just
talk
stupidity
about
about
to.
to
marketing.
NPCs. I
Yeah,
did.
because I was just even about to say something about that. We're basically discussing about escapism. Because this is the thing about escapism. I'm gonna paraphrase from Neil Gaiman. I'm gonna give you a unicorn in the story, and I'm not gonna focus, and I'm gonna kill it, and I'm not gonna focus on the sadness. I'm gonna tell you a story, and I'm gonna break your heart.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Because the reason I asked that question is because I've noticed lately, and maybe Eloise touched on this, why are they focusing all their hatred on escapism? It's like they don't understand what escapism is. They want to bring reality to, or some of the trigger words. We want to create the show like the world that we live in, or reflect the
It's
world that we
mostly
live in.
sounds like
And
it
it's
mostly sounds like they just
mostly
want to vent out all of their hatreds onto anything that on a problem that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that or they forgot what escapism is. It's like they allow themselves to grow up, but they've also locked away the kid in them.
Mm-hmm.
And also they want to use works of fiction as a means to vent out whatever frustrations they have. Not allowing
I mean, exactly, because
not
that's
not
why they're
allowing
already so content. They approach a story with such contempt, and that's why they're so unhappy with it.
That's
they're
true.
not allowing imagination to flourish. In addition to like softening up their hearts, so their inner kid can be well, they can be let out.
What, the ones that are criticizing it, or I mean, not criticizing, but the ones, Dominic, are you talking about the ones that are attacking it,
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
they're attack?
because they see escapism as childish.
Okay, I got. Okay, I'm following you.
They
So that's
see
why they.
anything to do with fun as childish. They always
Yes.
want people to just educate and teach and all that stuff. And
Yes.
anything ill conducive to that is just childish to them. They think that they're grown up, that they're far beyond anything that's fun. And in doing so, they're pretty much acting the most childish, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cause like you ever had that kid in school where he pretends to be mature and yet so calm and collected, but yet he comes off as being a bit more of an insecure asshole
Oh,
because he's
yes.
not that.
We,
That's basically what they are. Because
yeah, I
here's real
mean, we
maturity
seen
right
that.
here, my friend. Here's real maturity. Accepting everything from what's happened before, from all the good, all the bad, and yes, especially the ugly, and laughing at yourself from that. That's maturity.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, and this is pretty much paraphrasing what you all said, especially with Wolf. I think the people coming after the escapism, and escapism means science fiction, fantasy, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, of course, comic books, graphic novels. I think these are people, the people coming after that, these are people I think that never had fun or happiness in their life. I think they, like you said, I think after they reach a certain age, they realize, well, fun time is over. Now that I'm adult, fun is something that I can't have. I can only see stories about death, dying, and disease. And that's all that should be it. And that's
And
all that should
sex.
matter. And sex, yeah. Yes, that, yeah, that too.
I mean,
And they figure
they try to think they think that the most childish shit that they partake in, like the whole sex and alcohol and all that is it's like they're kids that are discovering adult things and they just want to do adult things so badly to no end.
that's a good point. That's a good point,
They're like the
Wolf.
kids at Pleasure Island and Pinocchio.
Why'd you say that?
I mean, that's pretty much what they are. Because like
Okay.
the whole point of Pinocchio is basically on the Pleasure Island, was Pinocchio saying he wants to be a real boy, but yet suddenly when he's already off to Pleasure Island, he says that could basically be make him a boy, quote unquote, when all they're just really doing, because the whole purpose, what it's actually a reference to of Pleasure Island, is because a lot of kids at the age of 8 were working in the coal mines, and yet they're already just going to be off doing a lot of things adults would do because like I said, they've been working at the coal mine at 8 years of age.
I agree. That's a good point. But let me ask you this specifically, Wolf. Now, specifically, that's a good point. You're right about that. But specifically, you notice they keep emphasizing putting the race swapping of famous or popular or beloved white characters to black. Do you think that? And I'm about to say something controversial here. Do you think there's a jealousy factor in there that as blacks, let's just face it, we're not known for the fantasy genre. We're known for books about slavery and civil rights, and that's pretty much it. We're known for all, we'll pay money for all the Medea movies, but we won't go see anything outside of that. So do you think there's a jealousy factor that they can't come up with that stuff? I mean, you understand what I'm saying? That maybe
Yeah,
they feel they're jealous because they don't have a Tolkien or a Lucas or a R. Martin, which they can, but they don't. They rather like we worship Roots, the book Roots, of the TV show for so long, Alex Haley for so long, but we don't have a Martin, a George R. Martin,
worship
a
our own
Tolkien,
history too much
right?
is is to the point where we cannot even think of anything beyond that. They can't even they don't even know the barely the voodoo roots or even
No, they do not.
well I like to I really like to think that it all comes down to the fact that we have been so inundated with living through life through their eyes and only being separated from our culture to the point where we don't even know what tribe we come from, that we just don't think to look through the history, look through our history, whereas we're mostly in a demanding phase. We're still stuck in that demanding phase. We demand Whitey to do the legwork for us because that's all most of us been taught. And we, and Gothix did a video about this not too long ago. This was like last year, I believe. it's really the race grifters or the oh what they're called again? Thomas Sowell had talked about some no it was some political eh, some historical figure brought up these people, race hustlers. That's what they're called. It's the race hustlers that been making the waves on stuff like this. Not only that, Karl Marx had polluted our viewpoint during the civil rights movement. Unfortunately,
Hmm.
Hmm.
Because when I was growing up as a kid, I loved fantasy and science fiction books, and I always got blasted by other relatives. Like, how come you reading books about slavery? How come you reading books about civil rights? How come you reading books about blah 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 like this? And I told them because I don't like it. I like stories. It doesn't mean I don't love stories about my people, but I like use my imagination. I like stories from far off places and fantasy characters. But never my white friends got criticized by that. But I always got jumped on like that, and I'm like, why is it that I cannot read fantasy? Why do I? And I got bored. I said, look, I'm tired of reading about slavery. I'm tired of reading about a civil rights story. I'm tired of reading about. It doesn't mean I don't know that those things didn't happen, but those are just not my favorite novels. This is what I like, and that's why I laugh now when I hear all these nuts that want to get in fantasy genres, waste up characters, and I'm like, where are you people back in the day when you had a chance to write these stories and you didn't? I mean, that'd be honest. That's the way I was when I was growing up. And I said, I mean, and I was told, black people don't read fantasy stories. It's fantasy. I was always told to stay away from fantasy stories. It's fantasy. What's that going to do you about getting a job? You won't be able to function in the real world. You won't know what the real world is. I don't know. Where is all this hate coming from? I just think it's just absolutely ridiculous. And now everybody, all these black people want to jump on the bandwagon. So that's why I just raised that
not
question.
more than this Batman. Now suddenly now they're asking Whitey for a Black Little Mermaid or a Black Cinderella or a Mexican.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like you guys weren't
Yeah.
even into this bullshit that you call it, and now suddenly
While those, while those of us, regardless of generations, race, political affiliation, and everything, we we enjoy those works of fiction for years.
Yeah, absolutely, Dominic. That's what I'm saying. I have a massive respect for the comic book genre because they're a mythology. They're not just stories to tell to children. Like Wolf just responded to the story that he said about a Superman story and how it got him a little bit when he was told you're one of us. Those stories are for everybody. They're
I'm
not
glad to
just
have called you my kin.
right. And you felt that. You felt that. So I never saw them as kiddie stories. There's a reason why Spider-Man has been so popular for so long. There's a reason why Batman has been popular for so long. There's a reason why Superman has endured for so
You
long.
know, also what's also
And also,
unfortunate.
why Wonder Woman endured.
Yes.
No, my thing is you want to know what's also unfortunate. Our parents of the old age didn't really take much of it that serious. Some of them haven't, but now it's like I don't know what to describe the boomer age or even the older age. It's
Well, what I'm saying is I agree with you. First of all, I don't think, and Neil Star, that's a great comment that you're making. I do believe that for nowadays they don't. You're absolutely right about that, and I can say that in a video. I personally, I feel race swapping is unnecessary because there are many still, and Wolfie brought this up, but there are many still Black superheroes, Black folklore stories that have not been told, that can be told, that they're not telling. There's plenty of them out there. Look at the response. We all know how people responded to Black Panther when half of the audience never even heard of the character.
well, here's the
And
thing.
still responded anyway.
The reason why they
Well,
got
not
into it.
well, not just Black Panther, but any work or character made by Jack Kirby.
Well,
Yes.
here's the thing though, guys.
Hmm.
Now, now that my brain's caught up, they're getting into it because it's now movie friendly.
Oh, that's good.
Dang, you gotta really think about it like this. Sorry to cut you off there. You gotta really
No.
think about it like this, guys. Those who got into it now have were never going to get into it because of the comics and the reading and all that stuff. So things it took things to get movie ready for them. Unfortunately, and it's very unfortunate.
Good point you're making. So you're saying back then they would have get into it, but it wasn't the in thing. But now it's okay to be the in thing. But I want the in thing to.
I mean, think about it like this: most of us youngins got into Spider-Man because of Spider-Man of the '90s. I mean, because of Spider-Man the animated series. Yes,
Mhm,
we probably had picked up on a few cons, but soon enough, when they made Spider-Man the animated series, that's where we really got into Spider-Man.
mhm.
The other half in the 2000s got into Spider-Man through the Raimi films, and now the recent generation got into it because of Tom Holland. Back then, we had Andrew Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
I did tell you guys about that time me and a coworker back when I was at the theater had talked about Spider-Man, and he was questioning why they give him these web shirts, and I told him because back then he had web shirts. But what? No, man, he didn't have the organic webs at the time. That was just a thing that the Rain films had put in. Yes, he had organic web in the comics, but weird shit like that happened sometime later. That
I
wasn't
mean,
even a
he also did have like the organic web in the noir universe, the noir alternate Spider-Man, because
I thought it was in
he got them from the statue.
Hmm.
He got them from the statue.
Yep.
Yeah, because it was an artifact
Uh huh.
that his uncle Ben had that
Yeah.
was laying around in his room.
But the
mm,
but the yeah, but the point is like Wolf said, that's the thing. The thing is, but there's a reason why they endure. It's not the color of their skin or their gender. It's who they are as people, and
no,
that's
I'm
what
not
a
talking
lot
about
of
the
these.
endurance. I'm talking about the way how people have soaked in the nerd stuff when it was mostly our thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm
And
following you. Okay. Yeah, that's a
heck,
yeah. There you
heck,
go.
Unfortunately, we got the
even
hipsters
before
getting
the
into.
heck, even before for Spider-Man the animated series from the '90s, there's Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends with Iceman and Firestar, which also like introduced like just the like at the time the previous generation into
Spoilers,
comic books.
the series ain't even done yet.
What series?
Just talking
The
about Primal.
Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Oh
get
yeah,
from Getty Tartakovsky.
yeah. I like the point that you're making, Dominic. And final, I tell you, I've been a geek all of my life. I've never changed. I've been this way since I was a kid. As I've told you all earlier, and I understand you. I got ostracized because that's all I ever wanted to read is movies, Narnia, fantasy, science fiction, Isaac Asimov, Star Wars, Alien, all that
Shit.
stuff.
Only thing we had was fucking books that talk about the mistreatment of black folk.
Yeah,
Then again,
yeah.
we had shows like Martin, Living
And I was,
Single.
yeah,
Fam-
and I was a
Family
fan of
Matters,
those
Justice
shows
League,
too. Yeah, I was a big
Yeah,
fan of
because
all those
hope
shows.
hope is not a
or All in the
childish
Family.
thing. That's pessimism. Pessimism
Yeah,
is the one that's childish.
yeah, because being pessimistic doesn't make you grow, doesn't make you a mature adult.
Good
And not
point.
even cy- not even cynicism or nihilism.
Neo Star, I agree with you 1000%. That is a very good point, and that's the point I'm making. I just want to briefly get into that. Yeah, guys, that's a very. I was about to say something on there, but I think finally you and Dominic just covered that. That's a good point right there about the reason for race swapping is just in the books. I absolutely agree. So, but when I was, yeah, and it goes back to even back in the day, like you said, Spider-Man is Amazing Friends. I watched that, and those were the shows that I watched. But yes, well, if I watched the sitcoms too, but my favorite shows were always fantasy themed or sci-fi themed shows. Those were absolutely my favorites, and it was because of the stories that were told and the characters. And another thing, that some of these stories, let's just face it, Tolkien based, I'm going to use Lord of the Rings for example. He based it on European culture. Get over it. He based it on
Hmm.
British English culture. Get over it. Get
In
over it
mythology.
and get used to it. In that mythology, he wanted to write a mythology for English people. That's why all the creatures are a part of that mythology. Get over that. I'm sorry that it doesn't have to do with you, but if they don't want to create their own mythology, you could have, if you want to say, well, I want a mythology about Black culture, you are more than welcome to go do it. I'll be happy to read it. The problem with some of them
Hell,
is
I'm already doing it right now. I mean, I only do this because I just like I just like doing it. I mean,
yeah,
hell, since I started listening to Professor Geek's Archetypes, I wanted to actually read stories about that. I mean, it all started since I started reading JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I started reading Hirohiko Araki because I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and now I just actually like to write. It's just because I like it.
yeah,
Hmm.
you have to love it. When we were watching the X-Men cartoon, me and my sister's all-time favorite character was Rogue. And we're two Black girls in the hood. But she said, what about Storm? Because she's Black. She said, no, my sister's all favorite character was Rogue. She said, Rogue is my favorite one out of all of them. Rogue
Mine
Yes,
was
is
mine
her
too.
Cyclops
favorite one. She said, Storm is
until
okay.
Nightcrawler showed up.
Hmm.
So mine was Cyclops until Nightcrawler showed up.
Yeah.
I can understand why.
Hmm. But here's the thing: you would think we would watch, if we were watching it for Storm. Storm was cool, but her favorite, I liked Jean Grey, and when Jean Grey
Gosh,
became the
I wish I
Phoenix.
could just fucking slide underneath this shit so I don't have to waste through freaking quills crouching and walking slowly underneath this. Damn it. Sorry, it's a game.
That's okay,
Like like
but
like I can I can have Quill run like a good pace and just push the dash and he can just fucking knee slide underneath the damn obstacle. It would be way cooler, but of course this is actually a fucking loading thing, so we have to wait for the fucking animation to complete itself.
But going back to what
Well,
Final said, Final, here's the thing: when they sit down and say they're going to create a character of color, this is the problem. The problem is they're writing a color; they're not writing a person. So when audiences reject that character, they immediately say, oh, it's racism. No, it's just that you didn't take the time to write and develop the character. You just assumed because the character was Black, we immediately were going to be drawn to that character. And that's not the way I work. That's not the way it goes for me. You have to create a character first, but your character just happens to be a person of Black, but they're a human being first.
Yeah, in fact, this is even what I even heard with even with Amazon's recent news I heard from the Night's Watch, and it's after the failure from the Rings of Power, and yet it's basically whatever you basically expect. It's just diversity for hire, like 50%
Mm-hmm.
women who are trans or whatever. And it's just like it really becomes desensitizing once you do that. In fact, as soon as I heard that, I was like, yeah, I am not gonna be publishing my work on Amazon. Because I do not want
yeah,
anything to do with that after what they just put up.
yeah. It just it comes to show like that some of these modern day creators like they don't they're not like in they're not doing fiction. Well, they don't see like fiction writing as something they want to do for escapism. Like they see mediums such as comic books or even novels as a starting ground for when they go into movies and television, which is real, which is not only messed up, but it's also pretty cynical. So that's why like the question is, do you why are you why are you doing this in the first place? Do you have a genuine love and passion for comic books or any of the genres that we can name? Is there a passion to it, or are you just doing this as a soapbox?
Short
Hmm.
answer, none. There's no passion whatsoever.
Hmm. Even
That's
in
why it takes
indie
so long
games,
for them to get that shit even done.
Pretty much. It's even an indie
How
game,
long they were talking
specifically
about that?
indie game.
Sorry, final. Look how long it took them to bring out that Little Mermaid teaser,
Yes.
or even the Rings of Power for that matter. Like they proposed a lot of shit, but look how long it took for them to bring that out, and they kept. I'm sorry, you cannot blame it on COVID or any of that shit. At this point, barely anybody talks about COVID now. But the thing is that like when push came to shove, it took very long to get that shit done. Maybe if you stop running your damn mouth about diversity and all that stuff, maybe you get something done, something worthwhile. In fact,
I agree. The Black Little Mermaid, Disney created that not out of passion, not out of storytelling like they used to do. They knew exactly what they're doing. They made that to divide, not to entertain, but to divide. That is the only reason. And I also read that she will not fall in love in this story. Her
oh god,
motivation will not be to fall in love with the prince. So I don't know what her
that's a
reason
disservice
would
to
be.
black women. If black women are
Yes.
supposed to be, look, here's the thing: black women always complain about why there's no love for black women, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck? Like seriously, what will be her fucking purpose to why she's getting her fucking legs then? To
Yeah.
explore the world? Black women ain't got time for that bullshit. They want a mate. They don't want the mate ain't their world. The world ain't their mate. They're looking for a man. Majority of the time, they're looking for a man. They talk about about my experience, all that nonsense, all that bullshit. But on the whole, you still looking for a man.
And like I
I don't
said,
need no man.
that's
Bullshit.
just
You want a
because
man? If you
desensitizing.
if you're sitting here bitching about men, that obviously means you want a man, but you ain't putting in the work, or at least no, or at least not like submitting to the confines of nature to get you a man. A man ain't conforming to what the humanity wants to think differently about the way how nature works. A man's gonna follow his nature, the nature that you tend to place upon him, that you call a negative, if you will.
She came out of the sea because she had the hots for Prince Eric and she wanted to be with him. That was her motivation for coming out, and he wanted to be with her. But now what they're saying is that's not going to be the motivation in this
She's
because they
going to
look at love.
explore that world that that people say she was singing about. Yes, she was singing about being part of the human world, but we all know that a man was motivation enough for her to want to go there. Sure, she want to meet everybody there, but like think about it like this: you
Plus,
don't
Eric
just
was already somebody special to her.
yeah. But the
Yeah.
thing
Hmm.
is that you're gonna meet everybody there, but at the same time, like I done lost my train of thought. Y'all back me up.
Her
It's just,
go ahead,
it's
final.
just more so. Yes, she would want to meet with everyone else, but like I said, Eric was someone special to her. That's why she wanted to be with him. That was one of her biggest driving factors why she wanted to be up there.
Yes. Because when they said that, the first thing I said and everybody else commented on, well, what is her motivation to come out the sea if she does not fall in love with Eric? Then what is the motivation? They don't even know. Again, I think this movie is made out of hatred. This is made by the uber feminists that again that just hate their life. They hate the world they live in. They're upset. They're sad in their marriage. They want to go out and live the Real Housewives of whatever state of the time, and they want to have a glamorous life, and they feel that their husbands are holding them back. Um, I don't like the way they're treating love. They're treating love like it's COVID, like it's something you want to avoid.
Yeah, they give love basically just a bad name. Like, it's just like, you're in love? Get that the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're saying. Even the actress who's playing her said, well, this is going to be a feminist Little Mermaid because she's not going to come out the sea. So already,
I mean,
those
does
are
it come
trigger
off as
words.
surprising though? 'Cause, I mean, we've already seen this so far a lot with Disney in the recent years, and it's not even surprising anymore.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It started with Frozen. Frozen. Professor Geek did a video on this. It started with Frozen. I hate to hurt people's feelings about Frozen. I know y'all love all the Let It Go and stuff, but Frozen is really what started. Elsa is fine, but don't let her fall in love with a man. That's the one thing they didn't want her to have. Don't let her fall in love with a man. She cannot have love with a man. They don't understand these fairy tales. They've been telling me that ever since I
No, they
was a
do not.
kid.
I mean,
All
we
fa-
get it that Frozen is based on Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen, but they could have at least adapted the book itself. They could have at least adapted
Yeah,
the story.
Or
I was hoping like that Disney would do the Snow Queen justice.
Mm-hmm.
they didn't. You want to say something, Wolf?
so they do love to fuck up his damn stories, don't they?
Yes, they
Mm-hmm.
do.
I mean, Little Mermaid gets a happy ending, even though his in his story it's a sad ending. I mean, that's only just like what a small slight. Other than that, she's the story still plays out. But the thing is that well, shit. Well,
And not
I
to
mean,
and not to mention in the original story, Ursula isn't evil. She was actually a neutral figure.
Right. Wolf is correct. In the Little Mermaid, I'm sorry, spoiler for everybody out there, but you guys know this by now. It is a tragic ending in the Hans Christian Andersen story. It is a tragic ending for her. She does die. They changed that part and they changed those things around because she doesn't get the prince. She actually dies and he goes off to marry someone else. But
oh, context of that comic, but okay.
Oh, I was laughing at Child of Flowers thought, yeah, child, that was according to these wokesters, that's what would happen to me if that I would do that. But what they did is they just changed that. You're right. They changed that around, of course, making Ursula more of the villain who's causing the problems. And oh, Child of Flowers, that's why you hated the original Hans Christian Andersen story because of her death in the ending. It's a tragic story at the end, but the ending they did the Disney version of it is not. It kind of makes sense in a way, but I get it. But with the Snow Queen, I think they didn't want to do that because isn't the Snow Queen a villain in the Hans Christian Andersen story? Isn't she villainous or she's witch like? Am I wrong here, or is that what's her
I mean,
original?
she is a witch, but more so the whole conflict itself is basically with humanity after the mirror basically shatters, basically because the mirror is basically anything from beautiful that it sees basically turns into an ugly side in the reflection, and it was
Yeah, and
straight after it was shattered that suddenly causes like a very pessimistic view on humanity.
yeah, and funny enough, this was
Shit.
actually explored in the TV show Once Upon a Time when they brought in Snow Queen into the TV series.
Oh, they did. I never watched that show. I didn't know they did it like that. Because I think Frozen was made to make feminists happy. That was the whole purpose of Frozen is to make the feminists that's the only. But they kept whining that we're tired of the prince in the story. And that's why they made the prince Hans the bad guy. They wanted the prince to be the bad guy, and they
Out of
wanted
nowhere.
out of yeah, that's what I'm saying. Out of nowhere, I absolutely agree with that. I'm like, I saw that and I said, okay, come on, who made this last minute
Uh,
change?
so he wasn't even that good as a twist villain.
No, he wasn't.
Exactly.
He
He
wasn't.
wasn't at all.
That was somebody in the writers' room. One of them came in and said, "Well, you need to make the prince the bad guy. Make him bad." Frozen was written by some mean, bigoted, unhappy feminist women who were unhappy in their own life, and they want to put the blame on the fairy tales instead of accepting the fact they made poor choices in their life.
Mm,
That's what
You're
they're
doing a
blaming on.
story out of love, out of something that you do? Nah, get that the hell out of here. We want to educate those. I even
And,
see this in indie games, specifically in indie games in the horror genre. They don't do this not only well, they don't really do this out of the whole feminist thing, but it's mostly just out of sheer laziness. Because the biggest offender in this, I'm not even gonna get into the company in that because I assume that a lot of you are watching know that can
Okay.
of worms.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Poppy Playtime. Um, Poppy Playtime is basically it's basically everything Bendy and Nick Machine already was. Like, for those of you that already know Enchanted Mob, but long story short, one of the members of Enchanted Mob caught one of their friends, quote unquote, from the plot of Poppy Playtime, even from the synopsis and everything that went down from another game, I forgot what it was, that he made, and yet they caught him out of plagiarism. And do I think they caught him? They actually, the Enchanted Mob themselves actually copied everything what he did out of spite? No. But do I think he copied everything from Bendy and the Ink Machine out of sheer laziness? Yes. From chapter by chapter releases, from the childhood that's gone bad, from making entertainment for children, yet suddenly turning into monsters for some paranormal activity. And it's just done out of laziness. To even worse, where they literally sell lore in form of NFTs. Fuck
I
you.
honestly didn't know that.
Yep. I mean, chapter 3, it might actually be interesting, whatever they're actually just going to be going with, because it's going really, really dark because of how they've been doing the experimentations on children by putting them into the toys. But still, it's just not even that going to be much of a redeeming factor for Poppy Playtime because everything about it is just done out of laziness from what they did with Bendy and the Egg Machine.
Dang.
Exactly. That's interesting to know. I did not know that.
And also, Uncle Marty, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about Snow Queen on what it's about. But essentially, is to never lose your sense of hope and optimism.
Exactly. But we don't get that it's changed to a feminist theme in Frozen. Because I think as years go on, we're going to look back at films like that. And I don't think Frozen's going to age well. It's already forgotten now. I don't see many Elsa dolls on the toy shelves as they used to have before.
Still,
And the sad
still
thing
they have
about
the kids dressed up like her. They don't even need no fucking doll.
well,
It's
it's merchandise.
it's also overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah.
overrated. Absolutely very overrated. I totally agree 100%. And when I saw it, I'm like, I don't see what the big deal is about this movie one bit. I don't see what the big deal is at all. I don't get it. But
I
it
wasn't
just
there by it. I was hoping that Anna was gonna get the guy at the end. I mean, she
yeah.
kinda does, but they're still friends. They're still mulling over it. I didn't even bother seeing the sequel because, wow, just
Yes,
it,
that's just
Yeah, it
from the
wasn't
main
good.
from the many times that I kept peeking in it when we were watching when we were excuse me, when we had it on display at our theater. Um, it just seems like they were aimless. Like everybody was being aimless throughout that whole freaking movie. Even Kristoff and his dear friend. I'm
Sven.
like, who?
That's the name of his reindeer, Sven.
Finn?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, Finn. They, they had a musical number that just basically say we don't have no idea what we're doing in this damn movie. We're just talking about the girls that we like.
Yeah, not to mention like people would have been invested in seeing other princesses or other individuals who are elementals like Elsa, but instead we ended up what we ultimately got, like a living gust of wind, and also we do have a fire elemental, but he's a lizard.
Salamander.
Yeah, yeah, a salamander who is a fire elemental.
We're not talking about the literal salamander, guys. We're talking about the elemental named Salamander.
Mhm.
Just throw out that clarification. Yeah, yeah. We all know it's because we read this shit.
Yeah.
Again,
That's the
well,
difference.
the point is,
Mhm.
Frozen is an overrated Disney film. Which, if you look back in hindsight, like Disney should have just like adapted the Snow Queen from Hans Christian Andersen in its entirety instead of like changing a whole lot of it, because it just ended up being an in name only adaptation.
Yeah, well, you're right. They changed it because they, again, I think it was turned into a feminist themed film, and many feminists were going to the feminist lesbians were going to the theater saying, oh, finally they made a film where there's no prince involved and she doesn't have to fall in love with the prince. And the Professor Geek talks about that. It's fine, but don't let her do everything else, but don't let her fall in love with a prince. That's what they're saying now. We don't want Prince Charming to come and kiss her and wake her up and save her life. We don't want that. We
They
want
should have done the
the prince out
Moana
the
thing
story.
where you got two friends that are fixing the problem that one friend made happen. If you were going, if it here's the thing, if they really wanted to go that route where it's not always a princess and a prince and meeting her prince or meeting her man, they could have gone with the black cauldron route too.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Y'all
I
true.
remember
agree with
remember
you.
the black cauldron? They never really,
Yes.
the hero never really ended up with the girl at the end.
Right. I
Well,
just don't like.
they pretty much are in each other's company mostly.
I just don't like the. I Okay, continue, Wolf. I'll let you
Sorry,
finish.
I
No, I don't
keep
interrupt you.
pausing so many times, but like even in Pacific Rim, they don't end up together. They just hug. They're soldiers at the end of the day. They're good friends, but they're soldiers. It's not like
I
that.
got you.
It's not
What
like
the
that. It's not like there's a romance that can't potentially blossom. But the thing is that yeah, we were already done with the whole kissing at the end type of deal in almost every typical action movie, which I I don't mind that, but I still do like the kiss at the end.
What's getting me is I don't like this idea of how they're treating the idea of love and falling in love. I'm tired of them saying, well, the princess is not going to. They're treating love like it's evil, it's wicked. They're making that the dirty word when
Sorry,
they keep
sorry,
saying,
sorry. Something popped into my head again.
"Go ahead."
Here's a substitute. Have the woman give the guy a kiss on the cheek at least. She don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to fucking lip lock the motherfucker. Just give the motherfucker a kiss on the cheek.
Or even a peck.
Or like do what look, again like what Pacific Rim has done already, pretty much demonstrated. The hug. We hug each other for comfort because we went through a stressful, strenuous situation where we could have died. Of course, a hug can mitigate that shit.
I mean, hell, even Jen at the end of Power Rangers Time Force, she hugged Wes when they were about to say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
In the first original Lucas Star Wars, Han, when they came out the trash compactor, Han and Leia had a little hug. And then at the
Mm-hmm.
very end, when they're in the throne room, he gives her a little wink. Now that we know that they like each other, that there's something there, but they weren't jumping into bed at the end of the first Star Wars film. There was a hint of it. We see that they're beginning to like each other, but there wasn't really nothing really, like you said, they weren't in the bed or lip locking. It was just something very simple, like Han's little wink at the end. So that's all you need sometimes. That tells us, okay, these two like each other, and we'll see what happens in the next film. But that's all you need. If you really think about the first Star Wars movie, you don't really heavy romance. You don't really. You have a hint at it with those two, but it doesn't go full blown at the end. It's just Han giving her a wink. That's all it is, and that's all that was needed. And even as a kid seeing it, I got it. I got exactly what's going on here. They don't need to get all. It doesn't need to be all flat out speech at the end. We get that they like each other. So that's the way I took it. That was one way of doing it without saying it, without really saying it. Even when it rolled into Empire Strikes Back, we knew eventually they were going to get together, but they didn't go overblown with it. It
That was
took
the
its
character
time.
arc on their front.
Yeah, but I like that arc though. But that's what I said. I like that. I like the way it was in the first film, that he just gives her a wink at the end. We that wink tells us everything. So I just
Well,
wanted to 2 points you made.
I don't think it was like a hint of their blossoming romance. It's more of a
Mhm.
just you going it's like he's saying you're gonna see me around a bit more.
Really? You didn't take it as I'm winking at the queen. I should be, but I'm not
Well,
queen. I'm
no.
sorry. I'm winking at the princess. I'm winking at the
Yeah,
royal
because I
queen.
mean, That's kind of more like Han's whole character, because the relationship didn't pretty much develop until by some time later down the line in episode 5.
Is that Empire Strikes Back? You have to
Yep,
forgive
yep.
me.
Yes.
I'm thinking in Lucas terms, not Disney
Yes.
terms. Okay. Okay, Wolf, but Wolf, I see what you're saying, Wolf. You're saying that week meant I'm gonna be around, not I like you, or
Like you're gonna see, it's more of like I say, you're gonna be seeing more of me. You're gonna like get used to seeing more of me because I'm getting used to this whole uh this whole stopping the Empire gig.
not about I have a thing for you.
It basically, in a way, it reinforces his decision to help the Rebel Alliance.
And we do see more of
Think
that
of it
in
like this,
the.
because I'm most the reason why I'm saying that is because when we get to Empire, it you know he brings up the fact that he has to pay Jabba because that was also a step in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he's still helping out with the rebellion, but at the same time he still got his own responsibilities to take care of. So it's like the conflict there that was brewing was the fact that Leia wanted him there because he's a crack shot pilot. He's good with the gun. He's at this point it's inferred that he's done so much for the Rebel Alliance so far, and at the pivotal moment where they're in need of his expertise, he's about to bail out on. They've seen it as him trying to bail out on them, or in her case, he's trying to bail out on her, or maybe he's bailing out on her because he likes her so much. He doesn't want to get distracted by her. Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah, I'm following you on. You know, you make very good points. I'm
Yeah,
following along with you.
because we do see that in the extended universe in Star Wars Allegiance, because it's pretty much like Han's whole part in the story is just like what would he be swearing his allegiance to, like whether the rebellion and actually stopping the Empire, or actually just now back to his own selfish ways to to pay a lot of his debts to Jabba that he still owes.
Okay, yeah, I'm following with you there. But when we get to Empire, when we get to that, in which we're talking about right now, it kind of comes into full force when they have to spend more time with each other. But I always thought it was leading up to that.
I mean, that's where it pretty much started to develop there.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, because I mean that's basically where Han now actually starts going through like his whole arc. Because like Episode 4, A New Hope, was already his introduction. Like we already get a glimpse of who he actually is. Like we see who he is, but then he starts developing and later matures later down the line in Empire and Return of the Jedi, where now he finally finds friends that he could trust in, aside from Chewie.
Okay, but love is still a good motivating factor in it, though. I'm not saying
Mhm.
it's wrong, but I'm just saying how love is portrayed, how it's portrayed now, the way they're doing it, they're treating it now. That's the point that I was trying to bring out. I see your point. I see your point, but it's not treated as something to run away from, or it's I'm weak
They
because
say that love don't come easy. Nah, 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 nah. You just have to wait. They say that love don't come easy.
I know. And final is reading again.
Hey, don't you dare put your book up on Pale Bell. Or is it Pale? Is it Pale Bell? No, it ain't Pale Bell. It's the Supremes. Supremes. My bad. You
Can't
get
hurry love.
yeah. You can't hurry
Somebody
love.
put up a comment about that. I forgot who it was. Was it Red or someone said that they wanted to bring out a point about don't Frozen. They did it like that, but yeah, but they didn't have to make the Prince Han's a villain to make that point. Red, you make a good point, but Han didn't have to become a villain to make that point.
You know, they again. I kind of seeing where they were trying to go with. If they were going with the whole environment was messing up. See,
Well, Red is trying to say they were trying to make the point that in most Disney movies they fall in love with the first prince that they see, instead of. But I always took it as it's a fantasy story. But I don't think that's always so, because I would argue with Cinderella. Cinderella, when she went to the ball, she wasn't going to look for the prince. She just wanted to have a good night out. But they think it was about her going to fall in love with the prince. But I don't know. I always saw it as a fantasy story. I never thought that was how real life went. But obviously they
Yeah,
must
because
think
if I were to find some type of story where suddenly,
This live in my head rent free.
uh-oh,
oh, here we go.
I saw the title.
Oh my goodness. I saw I saw this.
This lives in my head rent fucking free.
I remember when somebody did this.
Oh my goodness.
I cannot believe you.
I know you loved that. I do remember seeing this video and I thought, how clever. How clever. Then I thought, oh, don't give him my
Shit. Oh, the cherry on top. Oh, my favorite one is the Forrest Gump one though. Why the hell you put your book on that?
But going back to Sherlock Holmes' book, he put
You're good.
Oh my goodness. We'll put your book down and find out.
Final has gone back to reading.
I'll be getting some good, well deserved reading with me doing this shit.
It's a Sherlock Holmes story. It has to be good. It's Sherlock Holmes. It has to be interesting. Well, it's
I mean,
good
this
to
is
see-
only like half the other Sherlock Holmes stories by Conan Doyle, because there's actually in 2 volumes of this. This is volume 1. I have volume 2 at the very end of my middle
You
shelf.
do
You
realize
can't
we're not
actually
sharing
get
the
it.
Oh,
screen,
nice.
right?
What?
I said you do realize we're not sharing the screen no more, right?
It's still not looking. 'Cause I think we already still. It's still not looking because I know you still already have that thing up.
No, I don't.
Or not
Can you guys
looking.
confirm it for him?
It's not up, Final. He has.
It's not up, man. You're
Yes.
safe.
You can put the book down. It's safe. See?
Like I said, my favorite was always the Forrest Gump one. That shit was fucking hilarious. The
Like
AMC,
anything whatever Wolf would say whenever he's gonna pull up something funny, I'm still not even gonna trust him with this.
I think I've officially embraced my Loki.
I believe you. You're gonna pull Loki on
No,
us.
if
I
you had a
believe you.
if you was basically officially embrace your Loki, you would still have to be that entitled, like actually how Loki is.
I mean, he's more Bugs Bunny than Loki, but I can see I can see him inheriting some of Loki's characteristics.
I mean,
Did you guys ever watch?
Loki only does a lot of his mischievous deeds because he is a bastard.
He is, yeah, he's the trickster villain. That's probably why we like him, because
Yeah, because he's also
yes.
he's also the god of mischief.
That's
He didn't
right.
get that for nothing.
Yeah, and he enjoys it. I think he takes a tremendous pleasure being mischievous. I think he wouldn't be happy being goody goody. Mischievous is in his blood, so he takes delight in that. He's evil, but there's mischievousness to it. He also takes pleasure out of it, and that's what he enjoys about it. And that's why he's
Unlike how
I
he
love it.
gave birth to a horse, which is actually the steed of his own father.
Who was also a child by rape.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. Because that, no, really, that's actually what happened in the mythology. He literally gave birth to a horse, and it's
He,
literally the horse of his father.
he's a
The
shape.
horse,
He's a
the horse.
shapeshifter. He's a shapeshifter. Everybody.
Oh,
Yep,
I was about okay. Thank you for clearing that up for me, Dominic, because an image came in my mind that I really didn't want to go there. I was going to say,
yeah, because,
was he raped by a horse?
well,
Mm-hmm.
But
no, like, he disguised himself as a horse so that the horse that, because someone made a deal that if he could manage to build, forgot what it was that he was going to build, in about a few days, then he'll promise him Freya, who's the Norse goddess of fertility and love in that mythology. So then Loki decided to throw him off by getting rid of his horse. So then so then he tricks the horse by seducing the horse by disguising himself as the horse, and yet suddenly knocks it up, and yet suddenly gives birth to an eight-legged horse, Sleipnir, who's hmm? What? What?
You telling the story out. You telling the story all wrong. He was there waiting as a female horse, but what he didn't count on was a horse to get attracted to him, and
Mm.
that's where he gets butt fucked.
Yep.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like the thing is the thing is if he want like he could have gotten out of his disguise at any given time, but he realized that if he does that, he'll get found out. So he was there. He was there. Remember, he's there to sneak up in disguise, but he kept the rules up, and then
oh,
he just
somebody
took
took
it.
to talk to somebody should have talked to Loki about the birds and the bees of horse mating.
Well, the thing is about Loki trying to sabotage everything. It always backfires on him royally every single time.
This one did. Somebody couldn't use his powers to spook the horse away. Just something secret little spell to say get off, back off, and have the horse go someplace else.
Well,
He
the
had to
thing
go.
Yeah.
is, this is that the only thing that he succeeded in was making Mjolnir shorter. Because the original design of Mjolnir when the dwarves were forging Mjolnir, not comic book Mjolnir, mind you,
The mythology Mjolnir.
yeah, was that the half was supposed to be a lot longer.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a lot longer, but the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, Loki had scarred one of the had scarred one of the doors, and the doors couldn't focus properly. So what happened was the half was shorter. So it was supposed to be wielded by two hands. It was supposed to be a warhammer originally.
Okay. See, those are great Norse mythology stories that could be told.
Mm-hmm. And 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 to say now, are those like who say Loki is bisexual due to the Loki TV show?
Mm-hmm.
I all like my response is I'm sorry.
Since
I'm
when?
sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. You need to do research on Loki, not comic book Loki, Norse, the real Loki from Norse mythology, and see
He
and
was
you need
soft
to
as
like
that
recheck
shit.
your statement.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because
because
Literature Devil even made an entire video about that. Like, say what you want about Loki when he gave birth to a horse, he'll fucking kill you.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
he really does not like it when anybody like mentions that particular moment.
Mm-hmm.
Or in the mythology, I never took him as bi because he fell in love with um, female Norse goddesses. So that's something that
Exactly.
Well,
Hollywood
he had a
came up with
wife,
that.
but I forgot her name,
Yeah, there was a.
and through her was what came from her was Fenris or Fenrir.
Hmm.
The second child was Jumengundr, the world serpent, and then the only one that came out normal was Hel or Hela.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Hela's the Norse goddess of death.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hmm.
Hmm.
and
See,
no,
a lot.
she see that's the thing. They missed a golden opportunity to bring Hela as Loki's daughter, and Ragnarok.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a major missed opportunity
It's a
because
major
because like
misstep.
with Ragnarok, I mean with Ragnarok, they could have incorporated more Norse mythology into the movie. In addition to properly adapting the Ragnarok storyline from J. Michael Straczynski's run on Thor.
And I agree, and that's where they miss Kenneth Branagh. They bring in Taika Waititi, who probably never read any Norse mythology, but Branagh had some knowledge of the Norse mythology, and he tried to inculcate. That's why the first one was pretty good. We all liked it, and that's where they missed him as a director, because he had a lot of knowledge of the Norse mythology that inspired
Kick
Thor.
rocks, bitch.
Is
I'm
that
about
your?
this boss.
I think I think you're right. Yes, Loki's wife is Sig.
Loki's wife is who?
Right there.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So he had a wife. Then he had a wife. He had a yeah. This idea of bi and see a lot of normies don't know that. They're just going by what the MCU tells them, but they don't know the history or what inspired those characters.
Yeah,
And
whether it's mythology or the comic books, like
mhm,
they need to stop and really do the research if they want to get into the medium of comic books or even mythology. If they can't
right.
take everything at face value.
Yeah, that's the problem. They take everything, just like you said. That is the big problem. The thing about normies is, I realize they take everything just like you just said. They don't read into, or they don't go into what is behind these certain stories. They just think if the MCU says it, that's fact.
It's going back to what I said about them. That it it also goes. It pretty much I'm pretty much been repeating what Professor has been saying so far. You're only fans of the movie version of these stories. You're not actually fans of the stories that these movies are adapted from.
Right. They're I agree with you. And I agree with him when he said that, because that's why they're accepting all these stupid storyline changes, because they don't know the true stories behind it. They just think, oh, okay, that's actually how it's supposed to be. Okay. And so they just go with it. Yeah, Tony Stark is supposed to be dead. Yeah, Sam Wilson would make a great black Captain America. Okay, all right. They just going by that. So when I tell them, well, that's not exactly how it went. You know what they tell me? This is what they always tell me. Well, when stories are adapted to the movies, you've got to make changes. So you can't always believe canon.
You
That's the shit they
see,
put
the
up with.
caveat is even when you're adapting a work of fiction or even mythology, you don't want to stray too far from the source.
Exactly. I agree. You stray too far, the story won't make any sense. But it's back to what Wolf said when he quoted Professor Geek. They're dumb to the backstories. So whatever they throw
Let
at them,
me
they
let
think
me
is
answer
so.
let me answer Victoria real quick.
Okay.
For my part, when it came down to the first Thor movie, I was liking it up until when they did the humility thing.
Yeah, me too.
How they display humility. And yeah, I'm probably gonna shoot myself in the foot about the whole kissing thing. I'm like, that's not humility. That's just power boners, as Simmons would like to call it. Like it takes a bitch to kiss you to learn humility, right? Like I said, how I would have edited that, it would have been him saying, "Earth is my home now." Thunder strike, and then kiss the bitch when you beat the destroyer.
I
And what
agree. I
and while you're
agree.
at
Yeah,
it,
Hmm.
while you're at it, like throw in little references and Easter eggs to Thor's like original like, stories and origins from Journey into Mystery.
that being what?
I don't know like how he became Thor.
Okay.
The thing with me about Thor is the first one. Some read, I can see why some people didn't like it. It's got some great parts. The problem with me was the love story. I just felt that Natalie Portman and Chris Hemsworth just had no chemistry, and I feel like they were forcing it instead of just letting it slowly develop. And then also with what Wolf brought out too about the humbling, it was very Hollywoodish. That's a very Hollywoodish take on
Like
that.
seriously, if she like I would even do it. I would even do myself one better. After he say the downtown from the destroyer, she comes to him and she impulsively kisses his ass, and
Yeah, that.
he looks at her confused, like I must have skipped a beat. I must have skipped from A to C. What was that? I'm sorry. It was just only impulse. It just you know what am I? Hot.
Okay, that would have been better. That would have been better than the Hollywood part we got. And when I saw that, I said, "Yeah, that's a Hollywood thing." They gotta take more chances. They gotta just say, "Look, just go for it." And if the audience likes it, they like it. Don't just go for the safe Hollywood ending, because sometimes that doesn't always work.
What the fuck? He didn't even push the damn buttons.
We all know that in Empire Strikes Back, when Han goes into the carbon freeze, the "I know" line was improvised.
When did that happen?
Neo, are you talking about the Thunderbolts? Because I feel the same way. Neo, is that the Thunderbolts you're talking about? Are you talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Which one are what you talking about?
Either way, I think we still start wrapping up. We are at the 2 hour mark, and I
Yeah,
don't want to get too close to my sleeping time.
yeah. I've got to turn in myself. I've got a Friday work day,
Yep.
so
So
we should.
I thank everybody for being here. Those 10 of you, surprisingly, we got 10 people
Well,
watching
10.
today,
Hey, you got 10. All right.
and those non-existent motherfuckers that kept popping in once that number decreased. I thank everybody for being here. Twelve for the African snake, the bear of the north, Eloise Dotto for gracing us. She was supposed to be in the chat, but I think she fell asleep on her keyboard. She's been very busy, very busy, and I applaud her for that. Applaud her.
Hmm.
She's been way more productive than we are, or rather, her, Dominic, and Final have been way more productive than me. But for now, I'm still writing bouncers. I'm still stuck on chapter 3. It's been a slog getting through that. But I've been typing up chapter 3. And the only reason why I'm slogging through that is because certain plot lines are supposed to be happening. I'm trying to figure out where to connect to that. I guarantee you guys I'm at the tail end of chapter 3, and I'll be moving forward to chapter 4. Mind you, this is still the first draft, so I'll be ironing out ideas, uh conceptualizing some other world building stuff, and hopefully come by next year I probably have more drafts been typed up. Maybe at the tail end of next year, I'll be getting it ready for publishing, or rather, I'll be doing the artwork myself on that front. I don't know how long I'm going to get this project done. I've been working on this for several years now, and I think there are times I've been thinking of pulling the plug on it and just do art for it. Period. Instead of just trying to make a comic book out of it. Just tell stories through art mostly. That's probably what probably going to end up doing in the future if bouncers ever get off the ground, or if it doesn't get off the ground, I just might as well just do art, just tell pictures, tell stories through pictures. So you guys get to see what I was working on all my life and stuff like that. And maybe then I'll probably work on Project Not Your Heroes. Finally. Or maybe I'll probably get off my ass and start writing that book about that damn demon escaping from hell. Still thought of a working title for that, but thank you, Leia Plus Size, and Leia Valor.
All right, the Disney Plus size, your lovely lady of valor, and thank you for joining us this evening for this chat that we are having. We're glad you all came. If there is a topic that you would like for us to talk about or rant about, you know how we are. Please put it in the comments below. I am very sure Wolf will really appreciate it. We love to hear from you guys, and I hope you all have a very good weekend. And we will see you next week.
The Hound of the South, Dominic Powell.
Thank you everyone for joining us in tonight's live stream. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Wolf 10 Media's channel. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. And if you got any topics that you'd like us to discuss in the future on Tuesdays and Thursdays, do it. Put that down as well as you type it out through your keyboards. This is the Hound of the South, Dominic Powell signing off. And remember, even though things are getting dark, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Never lose hope or your sense of optimism.
The Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, click like and subscribe and share with your family and friends. And make sure you ring that notification bell, that way you get notified of our latest videos. Go subscribe to 1210 Media if you haven't already. Go subscribe to me if you haven't already. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Final Fantasy Fan 12 signing off. And remember, may the light forever shine upon us.
Now, I know.
Neo Star, I read your comments. Sorry.
Right. Now, I know I mentioned in the beginning we were going to talk about marketing. We did brief on it a bit. We're actually going to make that as a topical talking point next Tuesday. We'll have Scooter Tune with us talking about that. Specifically, we'll be talking about how to market any product. Mind you, still guys that are just mostly voices in the void. But we'll do whatever we can to try to give us some advice, some tips on how to market your stuff, or when it's best to market your stuff. Because I think, again, we're supposed to be teaching you guys how to, or really encouraging you guys to be the alternative. I know we do go into our little usual rants and our usual sticks, but you know what? On the whole, trying to push us to the other direction where we stop all that stuff and start talking about new stuff, or new good stuff, or old good stuff. Anyways, it's been Welcome here, Wolf 10. Remind you guys once again, you're the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.